shut this down here.
All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Studio B down here. And I'm joined tonight by Al Red Sox fan. You guys all know Al with the Digital to Dice mug and the Digital to Dice. What's that other thing you got there that goes on your head?
Yes, it's multi-purpose. In a tight pinch, it can act as underwear. It's a bit pinchy. I've tried it. And also, it can be a COVID mask. I don't have it with me right now because it's in the wash. And it's beautiful because I wear glasses, and with a regular COVID mask, they fog up.
Yeah.
And I can't see. But not with the digital dice thong, multi-purpose, multitasking apparatus. If you're short on underpants, it works wonderfully. A little. Got to get used to it. But you wears as a COVID mask beautifully. It's like this, and you put your glasses like this. You do not fog up. Dave knows what I'm talking about because New Year's Eve stream, I believe I showcased it.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
Now,
you showed up all your
I
stuff.
highly recommend you can go from this to down there, but don't go from down there before you wash it to up here.
It's a one-way street.
Tried it,
I got
not good. Don't do it. Anyway.
And the other gentleman joining us tonight, Peter Miller. You've probably seen his videos on YouTube, and quite honestly, it was Peter and Ron were the first two guys that I found on YouTube when I was investigating games and learning games. And as it was like, oh, look at this game here, and you go to YouTube and you see who's playing it, and Peter was there quite a bit playing some of the odd stuff, and we were talking about some of that offline. So Peter, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, hi everybody.
So we got a fellow hockey fan. What's your favorite hockey team?
Well, it was the Bruins when I was a kid, but these days I don't really have a favorite. I live near Ottawa, so I guess the Senators are. So I've been, following them since, but
they still have a team.
Hasn't been much to be said about them the last few years. Oh well.
So a couple people in the chat. We have Turbocharged Sports. Hello, Fanomatics here. Good to see you here. Ryan's here as well, and Tribe Fan. Good to see everybody jumping in tonight. Yep, we got a little chat going on. Uncle Ron was gonna join us tonight.
Did he have coffee?
He's tired and his arm hurts. That's all I'm gonna say. I sent him a link. I said if you feel up to it. He said he wasn't feeling up to it. So I said no pressure. Oh, what about those Buffalo Sabres, Peter?
Yeah,
I haven't followed it too much, but how can you not hear about it on the news? Have they set the record yet?
I don't know, but they're like easily in the bottom of the standings.
Well, they lost to Boston today. I think they played in Boston. Boston beat them today 3-2.
Yeah.
Somebody posted.
So what's their horrific record? Enlighten me.
They have lost 17 games in a row.
Woo!
And I think the record is 18 games in a row.
Now, I don't dislike the Buffalo Sabres. When I did watch hockey, I always liked their old school uniforms. I their old school uniforms. I hope they don't get. I hope they win a game. I guess if you're horrifically bad, do you want to go for the horrific record that at least you can be remembered by?
Pittsburgh lost 18 games in a row, which was in 03-04, which is really weird that a team was that bad in 03-04. I mean, you would think it would be more like a 60s or a 70s.
That's what I would have thought, because in the 60s, they still had a minimal amount of teams, and then you had expansion, but didn't they put the expansion teams all together so they could not be that horrific?
Oh man,
yeah.
They put them all in the West.
That's how the Blues went to the Stanley Cup twice, right?
Three
times. Okay, I'm sorry.
And they didn't win a game. They didn't win a game. They were until they
were 0 for 12.
Yeah. Yep. Montreal, Boston, Montreal.
Beat them. The Bruins beat them. Who was the other team?
Montreal twice.
Oh, Montreal twice.
Yeah. And yes, they didn't win a Stanley Cup final game until 2 years ago.
Couple years ago in Boston,
yeah.
So
so that was fun to see. Yeah, it's funny doing these replays, Peter. Is I was just a kid when all this stuff happened, so I just went with the flow, But it's fun going back and like, okay, I'm going to play these teams, and you go and you look at the division lineups, and every year they changed.
Oh
You
yeah.
know, you got Vancouver in the East, huh?
Yeah.
Philadelphia in the West, and then when they put all the expansion teams in the West, they did that for I think 3 years, and finally said, we got to fix this. So they brought in Vancouver and Buffalo into the league in 1970. So they put them in the East, and they said, well, to balance it out, let's put Chicago in the West with all the expansion teams. So Vancouver's in my playthrough. Vancouver's in the East.
Yeah.
Oh man, and like I say, Philadelphia and Pittsburgh, and you know they're in the West. And then there was a time that the California Golden Seals were in the Bruins division.
Yeah, I know.
How?
Is that the second incarnation of them?
I don't know. They had so many.
They changed names a couple of times. I think they were like originally California Golden Seals, and then the Oakland Seals, and then they moved back.
Charlie Simmer.
Charlie Finley, yes, that's
Charlie
right.
Finley. He was infatuated. Funny quick story about Charlie Finley. He had the Seals. He had an ABA team, the Pipers, possibly. I can't remember the exact, but the colors were always green and yellow.
Well, didn't he have the A's? That's why he did it, because he had the Oakland A's.
Yeah.
He loved the colors of that. He wanted
So he
something
changed
to
the
stick
team.
out.
Yeah.
He always wanted, and he had his basketball teams had berets. You can look it up. The ABA team had these.
The French berets.
They're just these funky looking hats. To me, they look like beret. Not beret. You know, like the Scottish bagpipers?
Yeah.
That's what they look like.
The guy from Hogan's Heroes?
Yeah.
LeBeau?
But you look, I didn't know that till earlier this year or late last year. I liked the ABA, and I saw something. I said, because I didn't know, I'm not an expert, you know, I didn't know the Oakland Oaks. Thank you. And I looked up some stuff on it, and Charlie Finley owned them, and he just the wild colors. Sportsman Z, how you doing? Love it. Jake Cruz, hello. But yeah, how did you? Because you guys are hockey guys.
Uncle Ron's fine, by the way. Just so
Did you
everybody
like
knows.
that they put the expansion teams all together to kind of make them sort of competitive in a way? To me, it was kind of smart for a bit.
For a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
If you read about what they did, I read the book on the Kansas City Scouts, you know, and that was a really good read about hockey in the 70s and how they really screwed the Scouts and the Capitals. Like nobody wanted to give up any guys. You know, they charged a lot of money to get into the league, and they were just set up to fail. And it's amazing the Capitals lasted, you know, because they were the worst team.
How long did the Kansas City Scouts last? That team I don't even recall.
2 years.
yeah,
Here's my point. If you get a team in the league, why would you destine them to that makes no sense.
Well, if you notice what they did with Vegas, they made absolutely sure that Vegas did not suck.
They're in
you
a
know,
big market, in my opinion.
If Vegas come in and laid an egg, that would have made the NHL look really bad. But I mean, yeah, you put a team in Kansas City and you give them a crappy team, and you think, gee, why is no one going to the games? Well, they're 2-23, you know, and they're in Kansas City.
That's again, I might not have the story exactly correct, but the ABA, when the New York Nets had Dr. J. Julius Erving out of UMass, you know, they merge, they take 4 ABA teams, I believe. Nets, New York Nets, Nuggets. Now I can't remember the other two.
Wasn't it the Flint Tropics?
I love that movie.
Was that a great movie?
Flint Tropics. That's that Will Ferrell. That's one of the funniest basketball
Hey,
movies.
the bank won't take my check.
Yeah.
Go to a bigger bank.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah.
But for New Jersey to get in the league, New York, excuse me, they had to move. They couldn't stay in New York, and they had to give up Julius Erving. That was part of the deal. You destined them not to be good for a long time.
Yeah.
I don't get it. Not like the Knicks were any good during that time period. Highly recommend. Semi-Pro, I believe the movie was called. Not the football movie Semi-Pro, the basketball movie Semi-Pro. Highly recommend.
The kid that the spaced out kid that hit the basket and won and got the big check there. What wasn't he Kelly from the Bad News Bears?
I thought he was.
No, I don't remember.
Kelly Leaks. That's who I thought it was.
I think it was Kelly Leaks from the Bad
And
News
the classic,
Bears.
yeah, that was the line. Just go to a bigger bank. They won't cash my check, man.
The alley-oop play. They invented the alley-oop play. That was a fun movie. Do you guys like Draft Day? Do you ever see Draft Day with Kevin Costner, the Cleveland Browns movie?
I've not seen that.
He was the general manager of the Cleveland Browns, and it was all about Draft Day in the NFL and how he gave away 3 first-round picks to get the first-round pick, and how he got him back. It was just I feel like football movies. It was really I liked it. You know,
I tell you, one of my all-time favorite, Dr. J. Yes, he did start with Virginia. Then he went to the New York Nets. You are correct. Big Paulie, Worlds of Sports Sim. They're also with the ABA merger. I can't remember who, but one team, the owner, to do the merger, this team had to fold, and he got like the best deal ever. Like I think the NBA is still paying him, or his relatives. I just came across that story. I'm sure if you look it up, I was like, because he's like, yeah, I'll fold my team. I don't care. He goes, you're going to pay me what? And he folded his team because they could only take 3 or 4. Again, I'm not an expert on it. It's just the ABA. I fell in love with that when I was at the red, white, and blue ball.
Mhm.
You remember the night you were playing replay
Yes.
PC basketball? I don't know if it was you or me. One of us were playing replay PC
You were
basketball.
playing it, and you
And
said,
I had the ABA season, and someone said, "Do they have the red, white, and blue ball on the
Yes.
computer?" And I said, "Well, let me check it out." And we went in and played a quick minute of the ball was red, white, and blue.
I'll tell you
That's
something.
great.
That attention to detail is a big deal.
Oh
Let me
yeah.
tell you something. They got more sales that night out of that check because everyone went and bought. I want the red, white, and blue ball, and it's a card and dice, very fun game. Replay basketball, very fun. It could have been the Kentucky Colonels owner. It's a brilliant story. If someone could look it up real quick, where he folded his team because they couldn't take another team, I guess, but the deal couldn't be made unless he either got in or he says, and again, I'm paraphrasing. I'm not necessarily 100% correct, but he folded his team and got a lot of money each year from the NBA. He got a percentage of the TV.
No, Uncle Ron tells that story that
Okay.
he agreed to fold the team only if he got a piece of the TV rights or something like that.
And because the NBA was like, yeah, we don't do too big
Yeah,
time.
here's your
TV
50
anyway.
bucks.
They're like,
Yeah,
sure.
here's your $50, and now
Yes.
that's millions of
Anyway.
dollars a year.
Wow.
It might have been the Spirit of St. Louis. Yeah, it was one of the teams that folded there. I forget.
It could have been.
So.
It's just an interesting story how something, it's interesting how those things work out. Anyhow, I digress.
Peter, do you ever stream live or do you record and upload?
No, I just record and upload. I don't think I get a chance doing a live stream. I think there'd be too many mistakes.
Yeah, I've done that.
What do you
too.
use? What do you use to stream? Out of curiosity, I use like OBS. I'm just.
Oh, me
So
stream.
Peter, what do you use to record? I'm sorry, and upload. Are you just doing it from your
Yeah.
phone?
Yeah, I just use my smartphone. I've got a Samsung Galaxy phone, and I just put it on that, and then I've got a video editor on my computer, and that's it.
Cool, because those phones really do a nice job. If I could figure out how to do that myself,
They do. What I used to do is I would take the camera and put it on a tripod and stick it up over the top of me. And sometimes you do that. Sometimes I go over the shoulder, and so I can turn and show. I guess it all depends on what good game I'm doing.
It's amazing though, because people do that, Dave, like yourself, and you guys do a great job because you never you don't seem like you're hindered by it.
Yeah.
Well, there's been a couple of times where I'm looking around the camera and the mic, but you never see it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's not easy. I mean, really.
No, it's not. Tribes fan, when he rolls the card and dice Stratomatic, I believe he's doing it with the phone. There's other people who also do it.
Chris does it too, right? With the phone.
Chris from our good friend from Delaware. Yeah.
Gilles Thibault has been doing some Apple hockey. He's been showing that off. I think he's been using his phone. I finally got him to turn it.
You got him to turn it.
He was doing the vertical.
He was doing it like that, and it's better this way. Yeah.
I know. It took me a while to figure that out too. I thought, there's got to be a way. Like I would rotate the phone and look at it, and no, it rotated the whole image. I thought, geez. And I finally looked it up, and I finally found out how to do it. And
It's
now I know.
trial. People ask a lot of questions. How do you stream? How do you do this? And we always try to, hello, Mr. Utah Mike, our good friend Sports Time Machine. Check out that wonderful channel. MP Fox is here, another wonderful card collecting channel with his family. But people ask questions, and I try to answer them the best. I always tell people, trial and error. Try it yourself. If you like it, keep doing it. Not necessarily streaming. I mean, obviously stream. I mean, doing a certain thing. I've changed ways how I stream, and some I like, some I don't like. Some people like it. I don't like it. I try to stick with it, and I'm like, well, I don't like it just because it's uncomfortable.
The key is to go back and watch your stuff.
Yep, absolutely.
And then see if you would watch that. You know what I mean? And I've shot some videos, and I've gone back like, yeah, no. Take 2, take 3, take 5, different angle, you know, something like that. I actually last summer, I bought a really nice camera. It was actually designed for the people that walk around and do one of these, you know, it's the vloggers, they call them.
Like the GoPro kind of camera on the stick?
No, it was about the size of a cell phone, but it was it was a camera. Yeah. You know what I mean? But it had the thing that pulled out and you could spin it. So you could hold the camera like this, and you could see what you were looking at. So it's designed for people that were like going around the town and stuff. And hey, I'm here, we're here, and I'm talking to so-and-so. But what it had on there, it had this feature called product showcase or something like that. And what it did is, you know, when you watch all these videos and people hold up a card and it's all blurry.
Yep.
This had a feature that it would recognize that you put a product in front of it and would focus on it.
Nice.
And that it was worth every penny, because if you look at some of the videos I did from Studio C, okay, when I held up the card, it came in perfect focus every time, because that's what that feature does. And it's like, that's why I bought it for. I said, man, when I'm showing cards and dice, I don't have to put my hand behind it or do all this. Just you hold it up and the camera recognizes there's something close, and that's what it focuses on. You take it away and it focuses back on the table.
That's
so
nice.
Yeah, cool. So that did a really, really nice job. In fact, that thing did some super, I think it was 4K, but you know, I would go 1080p, and I mean, just a 10-minute video would be huge, but it would be gorgeous.
How long did it take to upload that?
Oh, gee, you know, it would be like a 4 gig file. I was like, holy crap. Wow. And then if you brought it down to 720, which still looked good, but not as sharp, you know, it cut the file by like 75%, you know.
I find, here's a quick, not sort of related, but not really.
You can okay.
You can upload like videos to, you know, short things on our Facebook groups we belong to. And so like if you're playing a game, you're like, oh, I just want to share this highlight. I record that stuff in 1080p. You put it up on Facebook, it looks awful. I'm like,
yeah.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
It looks horrible. And I'm talking 30-second videos are like, oh, this is like for Pro Strategy Football. I enjoy that game. I like watching the little guys in the uniform.
Yeah.
So, you know, something cool happens. I want to show it. I'm like, wow, I recorded it in 1080p.
Yeah.
It's 30 seconds, and Facebook just can't comprehend. It's blurry.
I did when I did the shootout hockey Facebook group.
Yeah.
Okay. And
which I love.
I made the graphic there, just something simple with a logo, whatever. I was all day because I put it up and it was blurry. I'm like, oh man, it's blurry, right? Yeah. So I go back and I fix it and I get it crystal clear. I upload it. It's blurry all day. And finally I realized that Facebook must be compressing that images, and there's nothing. I don't know how to fix it because it looks fantastic here. You know, and it's the size that Facebook asked it to be. But as soon as I upload it, it goes, and you can see it in real time. Just go, ugh. But I'm like, wow,
it's the beautiful thing about the Facebook groups that at least myself and Uncle Dave belong to. The sports sim community, Digital Dice is wonderful, but also like Dave Little's sports sim Facebook page, and shootout hockey, and there's a couple of baseball ones, a couple of football, Action PC. You go there and you just check out everyone's wonderful projects or games. I enjoy reading that stuff.
I do too.
I might not comment all the time, but I hit a thumbs up, and it's just fun to look at. And I've gotten ideas, you know, that's interesting what they're doing. Hello, Danny. Danny has another wonderful channel, Danny N. Grays and Cards. He does.
Danny plays the NASCAR on the PlayStation, and Oh, he's so good at it. I
Yeah.
love when he's on. I'll catch him playing NASCAR, and it's like, oh my god! It's like, and he's like talking to the pit crew and stuff, and they're like, all right, man on the right, man on the left, right, bring it high, and now you might want to pit. We got to fix that tire. And I don't know any of that stuff, but it's fun to watch him play.
Hmm.
But Al, get here, Philip Reynolds.
Hi, Philip.
Now the grid. Who makes the grid? Is
Stone
that
Mountain.
you know who's playing that? Is I think it used to be Flash Sports Games. I think we had him on the show, and now he's Unbelievable Tabletop Sports. I think he's been playing a lot of it. So I don't know.
It's like I said offline, fun game, very fun. Once you get the hang of it, Peter can probably tell you about the game better than I can. So
I've only played it a little bit. I haven't played. I just bought the new version. I played the old one that was free, like 5 years ago, and it was fun. I liked it. So and then I watched Gary's video and thought, oh yeah, okay, yeah, I'm buying this.
Yeah, and the new again, I watched our good friend Anthony from Bleacher Bums Gaming play, and he made some college teams also, and he had kind of
Steve Tower,
hello Steve, and he kind of mentioned, Steve plays that game. I watched one of his live streams with it, Grid Zone. Yep. And once he had quote unquote real teams, fictional's tough for me. It's just
yeah, me too.
It's just me. I have nothing. If someone enjoys that, that's cool.
There's a good argument in that Ron brings up, and some of the listeners of the podcast bring up, is that when you have fictional players, there's no emotional attachment. So you're not getting mad when the Celtics keep rolling runs in the replay.
I play games for emotional attachment. I mean, it's fake. I get that. I get it more than some people who watch my stuff, who leave not nice comments. That's not what it's a game, dude. Let it go.
Go. I can't. I get all worked. I was so mad at the Celtics last night. They lost.
Different. No.
I'm rolling. I'm like, come on.
I get that, Uncle Dave. I'm saying sometimes people are like, well, that didn't really happen.
You got to watch I think I streamed on Replay PC Basketball the night that Atlanta beat the Celtics, 85 Celtics by 30 points. Oh my gosh. I was like, you're kidding me. You're kidding. Every roll up. Atlanta's hit 75% of the shot.
I put in the chat, why don't you start rolling your own dice, maybe, and then you rolled a couple off camera.
It was still bad.
Still bad. That's amazing to me. Strat hockey on the PC, fun game. Right, I'm never emotional. No, not me.
Steve likes the fictional players.
Yeah, no, Steve plays the baseball game.
History
he
Maker?
Also has a boxing.
Is that History Maker baseball?
History Maker, but he's doing boxing. Stone Mountain Press again. Legends of Boxing, I want to say. That's probably not the right name.
No, that's the right name. Yeah, that's right.
But he has a fictional. You can create a fighter. I Am Sporticus is doing the same thing. I follow both of them. And you can create a fictional fighter, boxing, right? And I'm a big boxing fan. And you bring them up through the ranks. It's kind of fun. Again, fictional's tough for me. Now, the closest thing I did to fictional was we used to have. I made some wrestlers of some YouTubers I like, and I forgot what the heck I called my stable, and we were like the bad guys everyone loved. We did community service stuff. We were nice, but you get us in the ring, we'll hit you with anything. We triple team you, quadruple team you, and then we'll say, remember to give blood, especially this guy's blood over here.
If I was going to play fictional, I think for me, I would have to do a mid to a long-term project so I could see the players develop, to see who the better players were, to try to get some emotional attachment to these fake players. Because to sit down and just do a single game with fictional players, it's one and done. And I like to play these games because I want to play Bobby Orr. I want to play Larry Bird. I want to play Roger Clemens. I want to play Steve Grogan. You know what I mean? I want to be Sam Bam Cunningham. How many yards did he get? I want to, see the pass to, Randy Vataha. Exactly. Yeah. I got one over here too, Val. I got a small one up there. And I got a Houston Oilers too. I got a little Houston Oilers.
One of my favorite football players, Steve Grogan. And I don't have many collectibles, but Gale Sayers.
Oh, wow.
Now whether it's real or not, they told me it's real. I got the little piece of paper. Who knows, right? But I God rest it. I always liked Gale Sayers. So
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Back to the fictional for a second.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't think I was going to enjoy it either, but I bought Red, White, and Blue Racing.
That's fun.
And
That is a fun game.
I know nothing about NASCAR. Like I know a couple of the people. Like I know Dale and Earnhardt. I know a couple of names, but I bought the fictional. Thought, I'll try this. And because I don't know the real racers, I thought, I really enjoyed. I played a whole season with the.
Wow, really?
Yeah. Who's the older driver with the stinky car? I used to root for him all the time. Anthony from Bleacher Bums Gaming.
I don't know.
But I used to. He did the fictional. Yeah, I could see where that could be fun.
But I haven't tried like a baseball game or the hockey game with the fictional players yet to see if that might be different because I know baseball and hockey players a lot better and stuff, so it might be different. With the sport that I don't know.
Have you guys ever watched videos on YouTube or read reviews of games and you're kind of like, but then when you get the game in front of you, it's just like, wow. For me, it was History Maker Golf. I watched a ton of videos on that and it looked fine and I got it. And holy cow, that game blew me away once I actually played it. Last summer when I was out of work, I played a ton of it, and it's a 5-hour game to play a complete turn. It's 5 hours, and I enjoyed the heck out of that, and that was way better than any video because you just couldn't. No matter who did the video, and there was a lot of great videos on it. It was once you played, it was so much. I was like, wow. I saw the videos. It looked fine. It was great. And then when Red, White, and Blue, speaking about that looked fun. And I got that for Christmas, but in the back of my mind, I'm like, okay, it's always going to be the better guys that win, the gold guys, the silver guys, the regular guys never had a chance. If you start off in the back of the pack, you're done. And cause that's what it looked like when I watched all these games. When I actually played a game, I had a guy that was near the end of the pack, not dead last, but he might've been 5 from the back and he led for a lap. And so it was possible for a guy way in the back to work. He worked his way up. We had a couple of wrecks, a couple of this, a couple of checks. He moved up a little bit. Then he get into the third group, and then he get up into the second group, and then he challenged the leader, and he got the leader spot, for a brief bit of time. And I think he finished in the top 6. I was like, that's what sold the game for me, was that somebody could actually win that was way in the back. What I mean? If that was the last lap, he would have won. He would have snuck in, because it's not the worst than playing a game knowing that this guy doesn't have a chance. So,
no Dolphins memorabilia for me. You know what I should send you, Jake? I might get you like a little snow blower, little like match car snow blower, and send it to you, or snow, whatever that thing was.
Yeah, Ryan's right. Is that when you play the game, it's so much different than watching somebody play it. But sometimes it can be it actually can be worse too. But most of the time, it's better because you're physically playing it, and now you're getting
it's tough. Sometimes you bite that bullet and you buy the game because you think you might like it, and you don't know until you play. And I have to be honest. Most games I do like, whether I play them online or off. But there are some you sit there. Life's too short
for a bad game. Yeah.
For me, I don't not what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Didn't produce the way I wanted it to. Doesn't mean that it's not for me. It wasn't my type of game. I'm not going to name them. I'm just saying. I tell this to everybody. I don't tell. I my opinion. Play the games you like. Who cares what someone else thinks?
Yeah, exactly.
One of the questions you get all the time if you stream or if you upload, what do you think of the game? So I tell people what I think of the game, and then now I preference it because, it might not be for you. If you're a card and dice person, which I play card and dice, sometimes that's the itch I get, that I scratch it. Mm-hmm. But you're strictly a card and dice person, you're not going to probably like Out of the Ballpark's closed engine.
Mm-hmm.
That's just my guess.
I think it's what you want to do because I've been doing a lot of shootout hockey, as you know,
Yep.
and I've actually been
Larry.
streaming some Strat hockey too. The Strat hockey PC I've been enjoying. Sometimes I just don't want to roll the dice or whatever. Sometimes I just want to put my feet up here and somebody will be streaming, either you or somebody, and I'll just have that on in the background and I'll be playing Strat PC because I can just click.
You got those great Strat computer rolls, though. I saw a couple of times on Facebook.
Oh yeah, Bob, you're a goalie rating on everything but a 10, and I rolled a 10. That's just too funny how that happened, But but someone asked me, it's like, when you're going back to Action PC, how come you don't play that? It's like, well, I'm in a cards and dice mode right now. I like my shootout. I like to see the cards, to flip the facts. I like my Strat PC because I like to read about what it says on the card. And I'm enjoying that right now. But then there'll be a time like, I want to play Action PC because I like the better chalkboard in Action PC and how I don't have to read the cards. And it does some things better than the Strat PC game. So I go back and forth. And right now, like I say, cards and dice mode. And that's where I am right now.
Peter, what is for you? You're more a card and dice person.
Yeah.
What scratches your itch for card and dice? What things do you like?
What things do you like in a game?
Yeah.
I like I guess fun and flow. Game flow is a big thing, especially in hockey. Like, because hockey and basketball, I guess, are both sort of like this continuous action thing, so they're really hard to simulate, right? So if it's got a really good flow, that really sells it for me. If I have to sort of stop at every action and think, okay, I got to figure out what to do here, then that just kills it. So
there was a baseball game, and it's a pretty good game. It's literally called Dice Baseball.
Yeah,
It actually is a pretty good game. And again, I think I just printed up a while ago the fast action cards because I'm trying to do it with that and roll. I haven't gotten to it yet, but I played it, and I did the 67 World Series, which was a lot of fun. Took a while because I was rolling and looking up charts constantly. Had they just developed that slightly more where they could cut down the charts. ID Gesture brought that up one time because he used to rate his baseball games. It was really well done, whether you agreed or disagreed. He put a lot of effort into it, and he did a good job, in my opinion. And I brought up that game. He goes, no, he goes, I've tried it. It's a good game. It's just the too many charts and the fast action cards. You had to find some sort of happy medium using that. I've seen people do it with Payoff Pitch, and I got to watch a few more of those, even though it's two different games. But I did like Dice Baseball, but at times it would bog you down for something that should have been simple. Like, just tell me if the guy advances or not. I don't need to, if it's hit to this, sometimes it's a little too much chart lookup with that game. But yeah, flow is important. That's why I like Glory Days Boxing. To me, it flows really well. You roll, you look, it's there. And it makes sense. So, but what, Peter and Dave, what turns you, I think I'll know the answer. What turns you off when you get a game?
Or think about this.
Well, for me, and we were talking before.
Yeah.
When we going on the air about this. For me, like we talked about, I need to pick up and play immediately. I at least to get off the ground. If I'm reading the instructions and I'm lost and I put the game and I lay it out and I'm doing one of these and I'm like, wow. And that happens. And I give it a good 15, 20 minutes, half hour. And I'm just not feeling it. That's the turn off for me. It's like, man, if I'm going to struggle with this so far, what I haven't liked any of this. To me, that's kind of tough because then it, like you said, life's too short to do this. So I put it on the shelf and then I'll go pull something I like because I want to have some fun.
Hi, Mark Miller.
Hey, I've been talking to Mark recently. Good to see him. Yeah, for me, it's just like Peter said, the game has to flow. It's got to be fun. It's got to be worthwhile to play the game. And there's many reasons why. Maybe you just want to have some nostalgia. Maybe you want stats. Maybe there's another reason. But yeah, if I read the instructions and I'm lost, and then I try to figure it out and I get frustrated. We talked about first impressions on Digital to Dice one time. First impressions are a big thing. So if that thing comes out of the gate limping, then yeah, I'm thinking that I'm not going to like this game, and it maybe I'll go back to it. Maybe I'll watch some more videos and get it. But for me, I like it to come out like History Maker Golf. I watched a lot of videos on that. I had an idea what to do. I come out of the box. A couple of minutes later, I'm flying through the game. Loved it. Red, White, and Blue Racing, the same thing. Loved it. You know, there's a lot of games that did that for me. But there's some games that I just never could get going, no matter how many videos I watched, no matter how many times I read the instructions. Yeah. To a point, I was just so frustrated with my first impression of the game. Is like I'm either not going to like it or I'm not ready for it yet, and so I have to put it away before I get really angry at it. And I'd rather put it in the closet than the trash. You know. So, Peter.
Yeah, I have to be in a certain mood, especially for the more detailed games. Like sometimes I pick up and I look at the rules and oh my goodness, it's just too much. I can't do this right now, so I'll go for something simpler. But the other times I think, okay, now I'm ready, I'm focused. I can spend a couple of hours trying to figure out how this game works, and especially if it's a hockey game, I'll work at it because I love playing hockey games. But so.
I think sometimes, it's about fun. This is all about having fun.
Oh yeah, exactly.
And if it becomes work,
I don't want to do it.
And you're fighting the game. If you're fighting the game, you know, just like me, and I'm fighting this, and I'm trying to figure out the game, and it's so difficult. It's like a math equation that you just don't get, and you're just like, man, you know.
I think you hit it out of the ballpark. Both these, it's got to be fun, and you got to want it. Once it becomes work to you or to me, I'll say, not playing.
But like Peter said, if it's a hockey game or even a football game, which are my two favorite sports, I will definitely give that more time than if I'm playing a game that I'm a sport that I'm not really a fan of. Then I'll be like, well, I'm not big a fan anyway. But a game like one of the Roberto Civini games, it was a tennis game.
Oh,
somewhat of a quick play game. I think it was a set by set type of thing. Yep. And I'm a just casual tennis guy. I know like 5 tennis people. That's all. And I don't even know if they play anymore. But his game was so fun that I could feel the match. Oh, now he's up 1-0. And the underdog comes back and tie it, and you're rolling. And it was a fun tennis game. And I'm not a tennis guy, but I had fun.
Yeah.
I think the fun thing about a tennis game, regardless which one you like to play, it's very similar to boxing, in which it's mano-y-mano. So you could come up in your head if you want to see McEnroe and Connors again, McEnroe and Borg again. Again, I'm old. You know, those are the ones. Yeah. McEnroe and Lendl.
The problem with a tennis game is I keep going back and forth with it. Sorry, had to be said. Had to be said.
But what game? Now you just said tennis. Hello, D. Scott Howard, our good friend from out in the Pacific Northwest. What? So you said tennis. That's kind of funny because there's a time travel tennis ASG. I think I said that right. That's another fun game, and I don't play like I do these mythical matchups, whether online or off, and I sit there and I go, I can visualize it. And you can roll your own dice, or you can just hit the button. That's a fun one. And the guy, I think the guy who did that's the guy who did 2nd and 10. I can't think of his name. He's really good at taking a board game and putting it on. And I can. I'm
drawing a blank myself.
Richard
Yes.
Hannah, yes.
Richard Hannah, yeah.
He absolutely, his games, the soccer game's fun, and it's just a strictly card and dice but you have to be able to, with that type of game, because again, I caught some guff streaming that's not a real good, it is a good game. You might
Uncle Ron streams that tennis game, and he likes it, and he walked me through that.
Even the soccer game, someone goes, oh well, Football Manager, it's a good game if you want to play it. I don't want to play it. Very good game. But I like this game because I just want to put these 2 great teams that never met, and I want and the engines sound, in my opinion, and put them against each other. And I can visualize Pele against Paulo Rossi from 19. I can visualize it.
Yeah.
And in my head, Brazil beats them. And guess what? Brazil beats them in the game. But people are like, oh, enjoy the games you play. And don't try to compare apples to oranges. You can. It's free. It's a free world where we live. It's free. Free thinking. So if you want to compare apples to oranges, do, but don't poo-poo someone's show when they're having fun.
Yeah.
What the I can't think of the soccer game, but it's fun. It's another ASG. But yeah, it's fun. He does a great job. Richard Hanna, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Great job. But Second and 10's another fun game.
Yeah. Wasn't he the one doing the was it the PC replays? Replay PC games, the baseball and the basketball?
I believe so.
Oh man, if he did a hockey game like that, oh my gosh. Can you imagine?
Here's the thing with PC replay baseball, and it took me a long time to buy that.
I'll be right back. You guys talk. I'll be right back.
Okay.
I probably, Peter, would never get it card and dice just because charts and things like that. And I didn't play APA as a kid. I don't know if you've ever played that. I didn't play APA. I played Strat. So I'm not used to that whole, because it's sort of APA-ish. It's you add the numbers together with it.
Yes,
yeah, it's a fun game. King Icky Boo and ID Gesture, they're YouTubers, explained the game to me and I was just watching. One day I sat there and King Icky Boo said, I'm going to explain this game because people go, what do the numbers mean? Because, I know it pops up and it says what it is, right? But I want to know what it means. They're the nicest people when I ordered that game because I emailed some, again, probably what they thought are stupid questions because it's their game. They answered it. I said, can I print up charts? Which I did. And then I made my own little cheat sheet. And so as long I don't have to know exactly what everything is, but if I know it's going to be a possible good roll or a bad roll, it makes it fun. I enjoy the baseball game. I think it's brilliant. You can roll your own dice. You can click on it. The basketball game, it's step by step as you're playing it. Right, Dave?
Which one's this? Which basketball game?
PC replay. It's you roll the dice. It says, okay, this is what happened.
but it's like this. I can play a game in 20 minutes, half hour. I can fly through a game. Because it's rolling the dice for you, and it's just like Celtics have the ball, you roll the dice. What happens now? Okay.
Classic soccer. Thank you.
Yeah, this guy's going to take a shot guided by this guy. It shows you what the results will be. If it's a 1-4, it's good. If it's a 5 or 6, it's blocked. You roll it. Okay, it's blocked. This guy has the ball. Who gets the rebound? This guy has it. Flips a fact automatically for you, tells you what happened, and you roll. It flows like unbelievable for a basketball game. And I'm a casual guy, but I can actually broadcast the game.
They're fun too. I enjoy that. So I do. Again, here's the other good thing. With the replay games, you can download demos and play them. So if you don't like the game, you don't like it, don't have to buy it. I give companies like that a ton of credit.
Oh, yes. Demos are huge sellers. Yeah.
Whether it's PC or you can demo a card and dice, card and charts game. That way you know if you like it or not.
Yep. Oh, yeah. That's great to have that.
Well, that's what regular season basketball did.
Yep.
Is when I found them last year, or whenever it was, a couple years ago. They had a demo. And
your Celtics replay was pretty close.
Yeah, if I had used the close game factor, and if I didn't roll so poorly in 2 games, I would have hit it almost exact. Whatever their record was, I would have been like 1 off.
I picked up the Big East schedule for that. I got to get back to that. That's a fun game. I think I'm going to do what you did though, Dave. I'm not going to keep all the stats. I'm just going to roll until I get to the Big East tournament or something, and then keep stats.
Well, that's the great thing about that game because the score doesn't change with the stats. You get the score first, and then you figure out the stats. And me and Peter were talking about this earlier that we're not huge basketball guys, so we might keep some stats, we might not. It's if it was a hockey game, you keep all the stats because that's what you do if you're a hockey fan. But regular season basketball, you could download 2 teams in all the rules and play those 2 teams and see how it went. And I'll take it even further. Not only did they have the demo, they had a
how to play
it.
I know because that's
and by the time I got done reading the how to play, I knew how to play.
Yeah.
And I picked it right up. I was like, wow. I just I went through the rules a couple of times to kind of touch up on a few things, but for the most part, this game moved, it flowed, it was fun. And yeah, it's one of my favorite basketball games.
You did a great job on the video. You did a few videos on that.
I did a video review. Get this, I did a video review for it.
And
right?
he put it up on his
and
site.
Marco contacted me and says, "Can we put this review on our website?" And I don't know how many views the thing's got, several hundred, if not, I don't know how many it's got. But yeah, so I was like, okay. MP Fox regular season basketball. Yep. That's a fun game. And Al, have you played Peter, you played it a little bit, right?
Regular season?
Yeah.
Yeah, I played a couple of games with the demo, and I think I'm probably gonna buy it. I'm just gonna play it a bit more to make sure I do want to buy it, but I probably will. But I might get an ABA season because I know nothing about the ABA. And people have told me, oh yeah, it was a lot of fun, but I just have to find out which season would be a good one to pick. But
anything with the Iceman, George Gervin, finger roll, baby.
Yeah, that video that they put on their website, I have over 3,000 views.
Yeah, it's a great video review. It's very, again, when you come across stuff from someone, you're looking at a game, and those companies should be thankful. And if someone's playing their game and showcasing it, it's helping that.
Marco's been very fair.
Marco, very, very nice guy.
We talk all the time on Facebook and email, and
he's on your Digital Dice Facebook page. Also, I think he might be on Shootout too. Shootout, is he? Is that where else I seen? But no, I think it's wonderful with the community that people stream games. Games I never would. How I got into this, I tell this story. It's how I met Uncle Ron. Couldn't sleep one night. I'm clicking around YouTube, and wow, that's a football game. I like football. And he's doing 2nd and 10, replay of the 1958 championship game. And he's a great commentator. And I've listened to that many a time. It's very fun to listen to. And again, you got to suspend reality a bit, because guess what, people? It's not 1958. I know I keep saying that, but some people got to let things go if the other one team wins that didn't really win, or blah, 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 blah. And it was just fun. I was like, wow, this is a cool game. And then that's where I came across Action PC. And I didn't know. When I found Out of the Ballpark 2009 on Steam, which was an old version years ago, I'm like, this is a baseball game? A computer baseball game that I'm not doing this with? I just didn't manage and trade. I had so much, and it literally was just saying the ball went to you, it text, right? And the ball went, you just see the little ball go to, and it took me half a season to figure out I could watch the little ball, because I didn't know what I was doing when it came to that, right? I didn't know about clicking on things. And I had more fun with robbing teams of their good players and making the 67 Red Sox. I got Johnny Bench. He was like 18, 19 years old. He was my starting catcher baby for the 67 Red Sox.
I'm the same way. I had this.
Yeah.
Okay. I had my controller, and I got, the newer Madden games a few years ago. I got the newer Madden games and newer hockey games. In the Madden game, there's a tutorial, and I failed. I failed the tutorial. I couldn't run into the end zone. I couldn't dodge the tackler. I couldn't complete a pass.
They changed it.
I just was like, it's not fun anymore.
Not fun
and
anymore.
So I went to a convention, a video game convention, and there was a company in Connecticut, and they said, well, we get free copies of our football game if you want to check it out, and our baseball game. It's last year's model. You want to check it out? I said, okay, fine. This was, 7, 8 years ago. And I think it was Football Mogul.
That's a fun game.
And Baseball Mogul. You ever try those, Peter? Any of the Mogul games?
No, never had.
It's very simple computer games. Football Mogul's similar to Action PC, just no animation.
Yeah, I wish they would add a little animation, because Baseball Mogul actually has some fun animation.
Yeah, but you click the play, and it just tells you what happened.
Text,
and then it moves it on the field and the whole bit. But what happened to me, which I was completely, again, this is someone who never played cards and dice. Only played, Madden, whatever, a Pong, if you want, I fired up Football Mogul. I was like, wait a sec. I go, I can play, 70s and 80s New England Patriots. I can play Steve Grogan. And seriously, blown away that I could play leagues and teams from my childhood that you can't do with Madden.
And they've improved with that because when I haven't played Mogul in a few years because I play a lot of Mogul's a fun game, and they've improved they
have difficulty levels too that Action PC doesn't have. You can play like easy, medium, or hard, or expert, or something
Mogul's
like that.
Hard,
and
Manager is medium.
Yeah, there's a few of them. Yeah,
and then they have not. Yeah, there could be 4 of them.
But that's fun too. That they give you different levels to play with too.
It teaches you the game.
Yep.
No, it hasn't. But it's still what he's done in Mogul. Craig Driz. I can't remember his name.
I'm not sure.
And I've emailed. He emails you back. He's a nice guy. What he's done with Mogul, and I might be picking up the new version. I emailed him once, and I don't know yet if they put it in, but I read what the new game is, so I think they have. And I'm not saying because of me. I'm just saying I say it would be nice. Just one. You can create these team all-star best of teams, meaning like the best. Thank you. Yes, he does. Excellent customer service. I agree, MV. You know, like the best Red Sox, the best Yankees. So I did that. And I said, but I don't want trades. I want Joe DiMaggio to stay in the Yankees. I'm playing the Red Sox, so, I know I'm not trading it. And I tried to do it in commissioner mode to try to control everything. That was way too much work. I said, couldn't there just be a switch, like at least for this, when you create the best of teams? I want to see Jim Palmer on the Orioles. I don't want him traded. I'm not trading any of my Red Sox. And now, with the email I got, I think you can actually play a straight-up replay without I'm going to find out because I do think I'm going to purchase it. Clay Drez, I never pronounce his name right. I apologize. Super Bowl tournament, our good friend Mike in the Truck. Another really fun game, Pro Strategy Football 2021 on Steam. Very cool game. All the seasons are free. Let me say this again because everyone asks me, and it's, how much do the seasons cost, they ask. I guess you don't read the little thing. Yes, it is a long story. May it please the court. I knew that was coming up. Can I tell you about Aunt Becky?
Hang on a sec.
Aunt Becky, I want to go to college again. But yeah, no, it's. I think you can do a straight up season replay, which would be fun without trades. The cool thing about Mogul to me, why I've bought it on several occasions, not necessarily each year though, you can call your pitches, and I love that.
Oh, really? Really?
Curveball. You're like if you had Sandy Koufax, he throws a curve, he throws a fastball. What you can't throw pitches the guy didn't throw. If the guy is a 2-pitch pitcher, right? Those are the 2 pitches you can pick location.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, it is. I did a couple of. It's a fun game. The thing that messed me up. One time I get the game. I'm like, I'm going to play the 46 Red Sox, right? Just for my own ha-has. I'm not streaming it. I'm going to play the 46 Red Sox. I click on the 46 Red Sox. They're the Brooklyn Dodgers. I'm like, what? Then I click on the Brooklyn Dodgers. There was a mistake made. He fixed it. He put a patch. I emailed him.
Oh, good.
He goes, thank you for finding it. Because I like to play the old teams. Yeah. Customer service, excellent with baseball and football Mogul. Fun games, if that's what you're looking for. And
that's where I broke into it. And then I went from that because I was like, well, that's okay. Is there something else? And then I found the Action PC. And then I found Uncle Ron. You know what I mean? And then I saw the people playing that. And then I did that. And it was Ron that convinced me to play cards and dice. And then, I found the 100 hockey games out there, and then I find this guy named Peter Miller playing these games so I can see what they look like. Because you go to the websites, oh, here's this great new game. But, well, tell me about it. Show me some screenshots. What is it? It's fun finding these games and people doing the videos. For
Peter, do you have more enjoyment trying a new game, or do you have more enjoyment just playing your 1 or 2? I'm sure you have favorites. You don't have to tell us which.
Yeah.
I know they're all your children. I get that. But do you have, Uncle Dave would come out, he'd find all these hockey games, and and there's other people, Kurt Berglund, all these different. There's other people who do it, different baseball games, a lot, and they try them out.
Yeah.
And what do you enjoy? Do you like saying, "Here, this is a new game," or whether you stream it or not? Do you like, like if you get that new game smell? Kind of.
Oh yeah. Sometimes it's really exciting. Like trying something that you've only seen a little bit of it. Oh yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. Yeah, that's happens lots of times. That's a lot of fun.
What? Do you guys find
Yep.
that, because we all play a bunch of different games for different reasons, do you find that you're still looking for that perfect game? Because like I'll play all these hockey games, quick play, medium play, long play.
Yeah.
And I will have so much fun, playing the games that I enjoy no matter what they are. But I'm always like, okay, well, what else is there? There's got to be something else there that's better, or that's different, or that'll do this, or that'll do that. You guys ever do that?
Yes.
Yeah. Unfortunately, yeah. It shouldn't be like that, right? Because these are all great games in their own way, right?
There's more on the floor too.
Yeah. There's something unique about each one of them. It's like, and yeah, it'd be nice to have something that would be everything, but it's like, I guess it doesn't exist, but it's just, but that's part of the fun too, to try to find them all.
Game of Thrones, Jake Cruz. That's right. We used to do that. I used to call Phil the Issues guy, fun channel, not non-sports, very nice guy. And the Game of Thrones stuff. Yeah.
Hey, we got some people talking about Diamond Mine Baseball. Have either you guys played Diamond Mine Baseball?
Diamond Mine, is that the PC? I think it's a PC game. I don't know if there's a card and dice for it, but I think I did play a little bit of that. It's a good game. Not one of my favorites. Good game. It's very much text based, and it's, to me, a closed type of engine, and it's fine. It's good. It's an excellent game. Excellent. To me, it doesn't give me enough of what I'm looking for. I'm a visual person. Now, when I do card and dice, you say, but Al, there's no real visual in card and dice. Well, that's not true. I have my little baseball helmets. I have my colorful Pine Tar baseball cards.
Yeah.
So, to me, they're visual. I have
goalie things for my hockey.
Yeah, those are awesome. Those are Strat. I put my stuff down. So yes, there's visual to it. Different color dice. I learned that from Dave Gardner. Nurse Teresa, lovely Nurse Teresa, bought me so many dice. I feel nice. I got all kinds of different color dice in here.
Oh, I bought so many bags of dice. And what I used to do is I used to get different colored dice with different teams. So when I was playing shootout, I had yellow for the Bruins and red for the Canadians and blue for the Rangers and teal for the Sharks, and just it does, but it helps too, because sometimes when you're rolling like for two teams, now you know which one's the Bruins and which one's the Rangers.
Hey, D. Smith, look at his comment. He says he's always looking for the Holy Grail. Hello, RJL 518, Rob, our good friend Rob.
Yeah,
he says he's always D. Smith. Always, there it is. Yes, Dave Gardner. I'm always looking for the Holy Grail, and I always end up going back to the same ones that I really like. That's how it happens.
But I guess it's almost like you're trying a new restaurant, checking it out, but eventually you go back to the favorite one.
Well, it's the games
they do pineapple pizza the right way. You know what I mean?
I'll pass on the pineapple.
Peter, do you like pineapple pizza?
No, I'm not a fan of pineapple, I must say.
Oh!
Two things I don't like.
I'm sorry, we might have to eject you from the stream.
Dave's like, unsubscribe.
I didn't sign up for that.
Tex Leager, good to see you.
I'll tell you, there's some sports that I'm happy with what I have, and I'm not looking to buy anything else. And then something else comes, and I'm like, I want to taste that flavor of ice cream.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean I'm not going to eat chocolate.
Yeah.
Or black raspberry still. I just want to check out that other flavor of ice cream.
What
baseball. Sorry, with baseball, I thought, no, okay, that's it. All these baseball games come out, and I thought, no, I'm not going to play anymore, because it's just like, okay, this is enough. I just had to stop and limit myself.
Well, that's another good thing. We've joked around about that. Sometimes, hello, Kurt Berglund, creator of fine Pine Tar baseball seasons, along with James Forno. To me, the thing I like about Pine Tar baseball, if I may lament, the pitching rate, the grades, and then the home and away grades. Man, you're going to do things differently. If you're going as played, good luck with that. Because some guys just didn't pitch good on the road. But yeah, fun games. We've joked around, Peter, Uncle Dave, and Uncle Ron, and myself, and some other people, because we buy things. I have so many seasons. I'm going to need to start playing them.
Yeah, I've done that too. I've got a list of at least a dozen games where I played. I bought that I haven't played yet, and I've had them for several years. So it's like, okay, I got to make it. I'm committed to, like, okay, I'm going to at least play them this year and see if I like them.
Did you guys get any enjoyment at all out of, I don't want to say setting up, but printing and cutting and printing out the charts and making them look good? I find myself, like, I'll sit here some nights and just print out a ton of, like, extra strat teams and players, or whatever that is, payoff pitch teams or anything like that.
You did a beautiful job. And
I'll just cut them all night, and I'll design them in Photoshop and add logos. And I just had, like, last night. Okay, for a perfect example, what I did last night is I've been playing Shootout using the Shootout helper. Okay, and that, so I'm gonna just continue to do that, and I'll stream games once in a while. I went to NHLuniforms.com.
You added them to the side.
I grabbed all the 70s teams, right? And I put them up and they looked nice. But the thing is, they was like home and away all together. Well, that wasn't good enough. I went into Photoshop last night, and I'm still learning Photoshop. I'm not an expert. And I traced out all the home and away versions of the teams, and now I can put the correct jersey for where they're playing.
Yeah,
that's where I am with this stuff here. And I had fun doing that, but again, that cuts into the playing time. And like you're saying, I get all these games to play, and here I am cutting jerseys out in Photoshop so I can make my game look nice whenever I get to it.
Yeah, no, I've done things like that too in Excel or something like that. I'm putting the team logos on stuff, and so I can have that on my game table. Yeah, sure, that's cool to do.
Peter, on the little hockey goalie helmets, do you have all of them?
Yes,
Awesome.
I have all 31 teams.
Do you have any old school ones, like the seal? No. This is just something that I got like a couple of years ago. So it's just a modern team. So yeah, it'd be neat to have the seals and the
sometimes I'll print out the logos and cut them and just put them on the table. You know.
I tell you, I have more enjoyment when I'm rolling cards and dice baseball, and I look at the little plastic helmets.
That's fun. I like seeing that when you do your baseball and you see the little helmets there, because I have some of those too.
They're fun.
I don't have any football helmets, so this is I do this instead. And
I have
from sportslogos.net.
Yep. Teresa's in a bowling league, or before COVID, and they had the vending machine with the helmet. It's not the old school helmets, which I loved collecting as a kid, but she'll come home and she'll go, I got something for him. Like, oh, goody. And she gives me like new helmets, and I still don't get the Patriots helmet. Never get the freaking Patriots helmet. No. I have four Saints helmets.
These little bubblegum helmets here.
Those are the ones, the old school. I love
Tampa Bay one. Yeah, this is the Tampa Bay one, right? The bucket. That's my favorite. I have like 100 of these all over the house. They're like incense in my house. You know how people have incense? I have Tampa Bay Buccaneers helmets all over the house.
Here's something. And
somebody had all the old ones individually wrapped in a bag on sale on eBay. I don't know if I paid more than $15 to $20 for the whole set, maybe 30. And they were in great shape, and they're awesome. All the old logos. It's the old Tampa Bay, the old Seattle. I think Houston was in there. Anybody from the 70s and 80s was in there. You know what I mean? And so I bought the new set, and I have the old set. So now any game I play now, I can put the helmets on there.
It's just fun.
It is fun.
What? Dave's done this before. Hello, Retro Replay MN. Hope all is well. We've talked about this before. Favorite old school uniforms. To me, I'll give you two football ones. Tampa Bay, the Creamsicles, Why they went away from that, I don't know. And the old school Pat the Patriot.
Mhm.
Those are, I like those uniforms better than what the teams have now. What, Peter, is there any old school hockey uniforms or any sport? Any sport? I would assume hockey for you because you're a hockey guy. I don't
I hadn't thought about that. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, I'll throw this out to you, Peter. The Islanders switched your logo at one time. It looked like
The fisherman.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Yeah.
Not a fan of that one. I think they went back to the older. I'm pretty sure they went back to the old school. Buffalo switched their logo. You know, I didn't like that either.
They called it the Bonnie Rubble jersey.
That's
because
what
it looked like Bonnie Rubble's hair.
Yeah. It was horrible.
Now Quebec was good. I like the Quebec.
The Nordiques.
That was a nice jersey. Yeah. Yeah.
There's something. The other football team. Football always sticks in my head. The old Chargers uniforms from the 60s.
Yeah, they tried to kind of replicate those, and they never quite did.
I'm telling you, the baby blue shirts with the yellow, if you get the yellow right, that's a sharp with the white helmet and the bolt. Sharp. I think I like white helmets with whatever logo. The Cardinals uniforms, when they're just standard red and white, beautiful. Raiders, not a big fan of the Raiders, but their uniform pretty much standard. The I don't like. I don't like what they did with the fish. It looks good to me.
I used to like the Milwaukee Brewers with the glove logo. I like
that one better. Yes. The Orioles I like with these. I think it was late set night. The uniforms they had for the 79 season, white here. The Los Angeles Chargers, fabulous uniforms. Favorite football team probably Dolphins.
Golden Knights, huh?
Golden Knights.
They're not bad. The Golden Knights aren't bad.
No, they're not bad. Whalers I liked. Though they had one version I liked better than the other. David put
green.
David put up some logos. I was like, yeah. When you did that whole logo or uniform, who really? Oh, jeez. I don't like when they go multiple colors with uniforms, meaning like they bring in 2 or 3 extra colors to sell stuff. I don't like that. That's just me.
The old Kings, purple and yellow Kings. That was good.
Yeah. Oh, I like that better than the dark. Yeah. Again, that was the Lakers owner who had them for a while. Orioles was awesome in the 70s. Yeah, complete black. I love the Bo Sox, but the block letter away gray uniforms are the worst in MLB. I don't disagree. I don't disagree.
Uniforms in baseball, like the Yankees and the Red Sox. It's like, ugh.
I hate the gray. I could never. Why they went with gray on the road? It's like
I don't like it.
You have colors. Use colors. You know what I mean? I know it doesn't mean that much in baseball. You can play white on white or black on black. I wouldn't care, or green on green. But it's just you got colors. Use them. Get creative. You know.
Yeah.
Seattle Pilots hats. He just mentioned that's a sharp cap. I know what he's talking. USFL logos. Oh yeah, look, he's got the Boston Breakers.
I just got that one. Yeah, I got the Breakers.
You just got that one?
Yep. That's new. Yep.
I love the Boston Breakers, though they had white helmets, but I still love them. I love them so. The Patriots were not bueno really during that shirt. Well, the Breakers were only 1 year, and typical Boston, New England type team, pretty good. Lost some games at the end they shouldn't have lost. Missed the playoffs by 1 game. The Boston Breakers, Nickerson Field. I love the US.
Remember the White Sox with the shorts?
Oh, they were horrible.
When you slid, didn't you get all cut up?
Yeah, they gave them the softball uniforms.
Yeah.
Yeah. King's colors were officially called Forum Blue and Gold.
No,
says Tim Pepper.
It was purple.
I thought it was purple myself too.
Yeah, the Pirates had
Pirates
some good
uniforms.
ones, yeah. The Seals were good. Peter, do you like?
I thought.
Peter, what Seals uniform did you like the best? Did you like the original kind of green? Did you like it when they went to yellow and green, or did you like it when they went to teal? Because they had 3 sets of jerseys.
Yeah, I don't like teal as a color. Like that's what the Sharks use now, and I don't like that color. So I guess I'd like the yellow and the green and stuff.
I think those are the two I got. I got Home and Away. That's what I got. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't crazy about the original uniforms. They look like Vancouver. They really did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, the original Vancouver Canucks logo, I thought was like the worst logo I'd ever seen. It's just a little. I guess it's a stylized C with a little single hockey stick.
It's a hockey rink with a stick.
Yeah, that's what it was. Then they also had the barf colors.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just like the San Diego Padres, those were some funky uniforms.
Ooh, yeah. The worst one. Remember the Cleveland Indians when they were all blood?
Yeah.
I get some baseball
something
cards.
that doesn't look right. Player manager Frank Robinson in that uniform. You're like, Boog Powell in that uniform. I think.
Boog yeah. Boog Powell in any uniform actually.
Yeah, he just doesn't look right, but he's a great player. They were red on red. I think those were their away uniforms, like that weird red color. And then they had the hats were cool. They had that C. I like that.
Kind of like the chiseled out C.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Yeah. What was I like the red and blue of the Red Sox, but I like the solid blue also. I think the Expos had cool hats, caps.
Yeah.
Red, white, and I like those.
Yeah,
I really did like those.
And I must say, I like pinstripes in the baseball uniforms. Like the Expos went to that in their, the second half, I guess, starting in the 90s or something.
And then with the Blue Jays, I like with the white and the blue. I didn't like when they went solid. Mm-hmm. I know that's their better team. Did they go solid on the road and at home they did white and blue? I don't know. But I like the white in the front, the blue, and then the bird.
Yeah.
I like that.
It's a nice blue. That's a good blue that they got. It's like a Tar Heel blue or something like that,
College football uniforms kill me now because they go with the multicolors on the pants and they bleed into each other. I don't like that at all.
Yeah.
Oh, the Flyers always had a solid uniform. Red Wings, traditional.
Yeah.
Sharp uniform.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like you think of hockey, the original 6 teams, their logos and their uniforms haven't changed that much.
Mm.
And then you look at some of the expansion teams, and they've changed them several times.
No, back in the day, didn't they? I don't know if they had a home and away, because the Bruins were gold, the Rangers were blue, Canadians are red, but then you had the Red Wings and the Blackhawks, which were red. They must have had home and away, but sometimes you see games with everyone just had colors on. There's no white jerseys.
In the 70s, though, didn't the Bruins at home wear white? And on the road, they wore the dark colors. 70s, early 80s.
Yeah, they did change it in the late 60s, early 70s to where the home team would wear white and the road team would wear the dark. And then they've gone back to what it was before.
Do you know why they did that? Back in they made the switch? Because the Bruins, when they won the first cup with Bobby Orr, they were at home in dark. And then I think it was 2 years later they switched. I think it was 70-71, because I'm playing that. That's when they switched to white at home and dark on the road. Do you know why? Do you know why they did it? Or do you know why I heard they did that?
No, why?
No.
Because back then, late 60s, early 70s, it was harder to keep the white shirts clean, and when the road teams had a hard time washing them. The home teams, it was easier to wash get the white jerseys clean while at home.
Yeah,
that's what I heard. The story is that
whether that's correct or not, which you know what, it makes sense, Dave.
Yeah, I'm not joking with that, and that's what I heard.
No, I'm just saying what you heard to me is believable and makes sense to me.
Hello, good to see you. MP Fox likes the Dallas Stars black with the neon. No, jeepers. Peter, what do you think of those retro reverse jerseys they come out with? Have you seen any of those?
Some of them are just, I don't know. Like the Ducks one, anyway.
I never liked the Ducks uniforms.
I didn't either.
What was it? Was it in Space Jam or some animated movie? And the Bugs Bunny says, "What kind of Mickey Mouse organization names a team the Ducks?"
Yeah, that was that was funny. Bugs Bunny I
Yeah.
strive to be like Bugs Bunny.
How much did Bugs Bunny weigh?
Oh God, I'm gonna say he weighed they probably said it once in a wrestling or a boxing thing. I want to say like against the Crusher, obviously, who was only in 2 of those. He was a wrestler and a boxer. The Crusher. Oh God, Nature Boy, ravishing Rhino, and the Crusher kicks the living crap out of him. That was a wrestling match, and then the mascot, who was Bugs Bunny, comes to help and wrestles him. I want to say he weighed, because he did the famous arm thing. Oh, I've seen this cartoon. I should know this because I know it's in the wrestling one. I don't think it's in the boxing one.
And I don't know why I know this, but I saw this
I'm going
somewhere.
to say 50 pounds. It's not fit. Oh, God, what is it? Tell us, Dave.
6 7/8.
6. Yeah, it was something.
And I don't know what if it's 6, whatever, but it was 6 7/8. Weighing in at 6 7/8. Bugs Bunny.
That was, I tell you, if you've never seen the Bugs Bunny boxing or the Bugs Bunny wrestling cartoon against the Crusher, which is one and the same, except one's boxing and one, but they're hilarious. Whenever goes, hey boy, hold this for me. And he literally makes the guy hold this rubber band and he launches a boulder at him. I mean, it's just fabulous. And then a Stitch in 9, remember? He sticks him in the ass with the pip. Wow!
Oh man. No. Hey, let me get back to a gaming question here for both of you guys. Have you ever played a game and then used something from a different game so use something from game B into game A, where you're like, I like game A, but boy, game B does this really nice. I think I'm going to incorporate some of game B into game A to make game A better.
You mean the rules?
Just whatever it is, how it's done, maybe a chart. Just have you ever, like I say, brought in something from another game to make a game better?
Yeah, I have. I just can't remember which one.
The one that comes to mind for me is it was one of the Downey football games, and I think it was. I like game-winning drive, but there was also momentum football. And momentum football, actually, you rolled for time. Okay, so game-winning drive, it's like 5 drives a quarter, and that's it. Okay, momentum football, if you roll the dice, you could get more or less than 5 drives a quarter, depending on how long the drive was. So I was incorporating the timing from momentum football into game-winning drive at one point to make a hybrid game of the two. And it was because I like game-winning drive better than momentum, but the timing in momentum football I liked a little bit better. So once in a while, I would combine the two.
Roberto Chiaverini's Olympic boxing, which is fabulous alone, with the way you're supposed to play it. But I wanted it to go Ravishing Rolo, awesome sauce. Bears Den 007, another strike 1, 2, 3, you're out. That was the baseball one. That was funny. Yeah. Bugs Bunny at every position.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, the replay baseball. Stuff like this.
Yeah.
You use something from a different game. So you did the boxing?
What I did was I just modded it to what I wanted it to be. I didn't take away from the basic of the game. All the rules were in place. I changed it so instead of having these certain roles, right, I wanted some suspense at the end if there wasn't an immediate knock. Because, again, it's a quick play game. Excellent. Very fun. I have all the Olympic boxers. I did a tournament. I didn't finish it online, though. But some of those are up. I also did a right by the book 1972 heavyweight tournament. And, yes, Dwayne Bobbick still gets knocked out, unfortunately. And but yeah, that's the closest. But people have taken, I believe it was D. Smith said he took the chart from one game to use it with the other game. And other people have done that. I know Anthony from Bleacher Bums Gaming has come up with, because he's a game developer. He's the creator of Glory Days Boxing, which I love. And but he's also in development of a baseball game, and he has his rare play baseball chart that he will use with every game. Every game he plays, different baseball games. Yeah, there's some things it'd be. And Dave, you've done that. I know you did it with the football, and I also in Hockey Unreal says the same thing. He learned it from you. You're going to play the game the way you want to play it.
Yeah. And like Sports Time Machine said, sometimes I'll incorporate some advanced or super advanced rules into my strat playing, but not all.
I do the same thing.
I cherry pick the ones I like.
I do the same thing.
Yeah, I do.
And I might not even be doing them. I might not even be doing them exactly correct, but it works for me.
You said you do that?
Yeah, I do that with strat hockey. It's like a mesh of like basic, advanced, and super advanced, like a little bit of everything.
Yeah, there's some things I really like about all three modes there, but I pick and choose what I like to use out of each one of them there. Retro Replays says he likes how Peter uses quick play hockey to play the first couple of periods and finish it with a full play game.
Yeah, I do that sometimes.
That's a very interesting concept.
Especially with the longer hockey games. It's like, I don't feel like spending an hour and a half, 2 hours for a full hockey game, so I'll just do the first two periods with a quick play game and then just play the third period. And
that's a very interesting concept.
I did that with Strat basketball one time. I think I just rolled dice and I got a score, and then I played the fourth quarter between the Celtics and the Lakers, and it was fun because I got to play a full fourth quarter, play by play, whatever it was, and it didn't take me all day. And again, you only need to watch the last 2 minutes of a basketball game.
That's a very interesting concept, actually, because you can do that with PC. They say play to this inning or play to this type of scenario. Like stop the game if it's this. But that's really an interesting thing for Card and Dice. I never thought about doing that with baseball would be tough though, and I play a lot. That's what I mostly play. Baseball would
be tough. Yeah.
But you could play hockey, like I say, first two periods, get some kind of quick result, and then do it that way. One guy was on the shootout on the Facebook page. I think he was talking about, or maybe Delphi, I forget which one, and he was saying that he was going to use the EZ mode, the quick play mode of shootout in the playoffs until he got to an elimination game, and then he would play the full. And that's a good way to do it too, because there's a lot of opening round games that if you want to play all the way you can. But I mean, you could just get a score and get the series up at 3-2, and now you play game 6. You know what I mean? And then it just speeds up the project a little bit, and you just play the games that are big.
Yeah, I've done that too.
Question from D. Smith. Peter Miller, what are your top 2 or 3 full play hockey games?
Well, I guess Hockey Bones from PT Games. And I guess you could call Hockey Blast a full play hockey game.
I would. Yeah.
Yeah, sort of in the middle. And Inside the Crease from Inside Sports, I guess.
Really? Have you tried that on the computer, or do you just play that on the desktop?
I've done both.
Which do you like better?
What's that? Which do I like better?
The PC version or the card? I'm just curious.
Well, the PC version is actually a straight port of the board game. So if you know how to play the board game, it's really easy to learn. Okay. You don't have to learn anything else. It's just, and the board game, the PC game actually highlights the quality that you're looking at. Like it might say, okay, loose puck, and then it'll highlight the 2 players' loose puck ratings, so you can quickly see them on the screen, which is really neat. And then you just click on the one that's higher. Inside the Crease has got a really great flow to it too. So
I tried that, and I had a hard time with it. But then again, that was one of the first ones I tried. So maybe if I went back, it would make more sense. Yeah,
and the team player cards are in color too, which is nice. You get the team colors on there. It looks really sharp.
Yeah, I have Hockey Bones. I haven't jumped into Hockey Bones. That's going to be I think the learning curve on that is pretty good size. So I need to. And that's the other thing is sometimes I get a game and I look at it and go, oh boy, this is going to be a monster. And it's just sometimes you can't give it your full attention. Yeah. And it's too bad because it's like there's some games that I have, like we all do, several games that I'm like, wow, when I get some time, I'll get to this, or when something, I just want to play something, and I want to, again, if I can't pick it up right away, then, but there's some games that I'm going to give it 2 hours today and I'm going to really try, but sometimes you just get that half hour to jump on and do something. Okay, do I have a half hour to learn a new game? Well, that's not fair to the game, So sometimes I've done that too. Tim, the NFL mandated light versus dark color jerseys in 1957.
Black and white TVs.
Black and white TVs. TVs couldn't tell. Yep.
They did something similar in boxing back in that time period, where one boxer, one pugilist would wear dark color trunks, the other pugilist light color trunks, because it was easier to differentiate who was who for the audience. Yeah, so that makes absolute sense, because I know they did that in boxing.
Do you guys remember Fred Cusick?
Yep.
No.
He was a Bruins announcer, right?
Bruins announcer from 1970 into the 90s. Fred Cusick, Derek Sanderson. Fred Cusick, Johnny Pearson, actually it was. He actually wrote a book. He was broadcasting hockey in the 50s, and I didn't know that, you know.
Wow.
And so I actually emailed him, and we actually chatted back and forth. It was kind of neat, you know, talking
That's
to
cool.
a broadcast. I told him I always wanted to be a broadcaster, and you were my favorite one. Anyway, what I'm getting at is in his book, he mentioned that when the Seals went to the white skates, it was a problem for TV because it looked like the players were skating on the stumps of their legs, because it was white skates on the white ice. And the TV quality back then was not HD.
No, it's not.
And so the skates disappeared on the TV broadcast.
Wow.
And it was, so he brought that up. Yep. And he said that there was something about the colors of the blue lines. Oh, why they made the red line checkered for a while is because on TV, black and white TV, you couldn't distinguish between the red line and the blue line.
Oh yeah, okay.
So they made the red line checkered or dashed. So on TV, you knew what the red line was. So
yeah.
And yes, I like I say, it's a big game. I do plan on watching, and I have watched that video. It's a big game. It's just I just make sure I need to I have the time to do that.
Do you remember?
Ringside. Have you played Ringside?
Yes, it's very complex. Yeah.
Is it really?
Yes, it is. Yeah, it's the most detailed hockey game I've played, but I like the details, so I love playing it. But you have to be in the mood for it for sure.
Really? Okay. I'll have to check that one out. Robert says he prefers Stratomatic hockey. Yeah, I do. Stratomatic hockey flows for me. It's fun. I incorporate, like I say, some super, some advanced, some basic into my game, and I play it the Dave way, and I have a lot of fun with that. So
back to the Seals there for a second. Sorry. There's an excellent book that came out a couple of years ago about the Seals. I forget what it's called. I think the author's name is Stephen Currier, and it's a great sort of history, season by season history of the Seals.
Oh, really?
And Seals fan is quoted in it, or PJ.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yep. There was one. It was a California Seals book, The Colorful History of the Seals. It was written probably 10 or 12 years ago, and I actually talked to the author, Brad Kurtzberg, I think his name was. Yeah. And I was doing another hockey show, and I had him on to talk about his book. And it was when I contacted him. What was funny is I contacted him, and my name being Dave Gardner, he thought it was the guy from the Seals, because there was a Dave Gardner that played in the NHL for many years, Montreal, California, teams like that. And I said, to be clear, I'm not him, And what was even funny is Reggie Leach friended me on Facebook, thinking I was Dave Gardner.
Oh,
he's like, Dave, how have you been? I haven't talked to you in a long time. And he sent me, so I responded to the friend request, and I was like, hi, Reggie. I said, to be quite honest, I'm not that Dave Gardner. I'm a different Dave Gardner. But if you still like to be Facebook friends, he's like, sure. And he actually came to Boston 3 years ago with Walt McKechnie, and they did a signing at a local place, like right up the street from me. And so I actually wore my Seal shirt, and I went in and I talked to Reggie and Walt McKechnie for a while. And it was really fun. They were telling some stories from the 70s and the Seals, and McKechnie was a lot more talkative than Reggie Leach. And Walt McKechnie, he played with the Seals, he played with the Bruins, he played with a few other teams. And McKechnie was just like, these kids nowadays, they don't know what it was like. He says, my day, you go into the corner with Bobby Orr, you turn around, he's gone. It's like, you didn't catch Bobby Orr. You know what I mean? So it was funny talking about some of the stories there. I think it was Reggie Leach told the story about Wayne Cashman got arrested one night, and they brought him on the police station. He gave him his one phone call, and he ordered like Chinese food for all the cops. They delivered Chinese food to the police station. Crazy stuff like that happens. Good stuff. Good stuff. Taylor White skates. Okay, there it is. The California Seals.
Yeah, that's it.
Yep, that's it right there. Yeah, and Texas Leaguer had that as well.
Do you remember when Fox had hockey for a while, the Fox network, and they had the follow the puck?
Oh, the puck, the glow puck, and
it
it
was
said
like
how fast it went. That was awesome.
Like it was like a tracer bullet thing.
Yeah, and it when it got really fast, it turned red.
Yeah.
And if the puck went into the stands, they went and they got it because they were so expensive they couldn't keep it.
Did they do that? I just remember that.
Yeah, you couldn't take one of those home.
So it was a special puck that they had to do that with.
It
I
had
didn't realize that.
It had a chip inside of it, and it would
That's
show
funny.
you how fast the shot was too.
Yep.
It was ingenious. It was ingenious.
I remember watching that. As Tex Lee says, I love the glow puck.
Yep. Yep.
Do you remember street hockey when you guys? I know you played. Remember the painful orange ball?
Oh yeah.
You know, like if you played street hockey,
yeah.
and you'd always have that one kid or a couple of kids or whatever who could really hit a slat, and you'd be like, "Oh God!"
Yeah.
You turn it and hit you in the leg, and it didn't matter how many sweatpants you had on. You went home and you had that freaking welt in the back of your leg, and you're like, "God damn it, that hurts."
I played one time. We were playing back like after school in the '80s, and I had glasses on. They were like the plastic, almost like what Peter's wearing right now. Yeah. And we just put on a coat. That's what you wore when you played net, right? But we were using a tennis ball at the time.
Yep.
And I made a save.
Went to the tennis ball after. No one liked
I made a save, and I'm on the ground, and I don't know where I was, and a guy took a slap shot, and I went boom, and it hit me right here, and my glasses went. They busted right. They snapped, and I'm like, well, guys, so I like drove to my grandmother's house. I'm like, look at my glasses, they're broke. So I took her right in the face with the glasses on. Tennis ball though, tennis ball. You know? I actually wore one of those old plastic masks, like the old Franklin masks that they sold in the 70s.
Yeah.
It was back in 1997. And before we started the roller hockey league, we were playing outside with that ball there that you're talking about. Yep. And we put on a little bit more equipment when we played there. And that's the only mask I had was that plastic one, And I took a shot off of that with the ball. And it actually worked pretty well. I mean, I wouldn't want to take a hockey puck from Bobby Hull or anybody, but I mean, when the guy shot the ball and hit me in the face, it dispersed everything. I was like, oh, I get why they designed it this way now. That actually wasn't too bad.
When we played street hockey, the guys who played goalie, my friends on opposite teams, they had the white old school masks, and they would literally put them on for street. So it was for, and remember how Jerry Cheevers would put the fake stick?
Yeah.
My friend Bill used to do that. Like he just put a bunch of them on, not necessarily if he got hit in the butt. He put the fake stitches on the mask, and yeah.
I watch all of those videos on YouTube all day long, and I see Gump Worsley and even Ed Jockman back in the day. Jerry Cheevers.
Was he the last? Is Jockman? Did he play for the Rangers?
He did, yeah.
So was he the last goalie not to wear a face mask in the early 70s?
No, he wasn't. I read this recently who it was. It was somebody else.
In the NHL, there was a goalie named Andy Brown. Okay. And he played a game for Pittsburgh Penguins late in 1974, like March or April of 74.
No mask?
He was in 74. He was the last guy. And said there's actually videos of him at the Garden playing, and maybe that was one of the games he played there. But Andy Brown played without a mask, and he was the last NHLer to do it. But he went on to, I think he tried to play in the WHA, and he played some more without a mask. And there might have been one other guy in the WHA, but the last NHL goalie was the Andy Brown with the Pittsburgh Penguins. In
I thought it was the guy from the ring. Because I know he was one of those guys who didn't wear a mask.
Yeah, and I think it was 69-70. When I see the highlights of the Bruins playing the Rangers, Jockman didn't have a mask. And then in 71-72, when they beat the Rangers for the Cup, Jockman did have a mask.
Okay.
Right.
So
now I know
there's a story of who was the goalie? It was in New York, and it might have been Perrant, but there was a story about one of the I think it was Perrant for the Flyers. There was a scrum going on, and someone grabbed Perrant's mask and threw it in the stands. And the guy got it and took off with it, and he didn't have a backup mask, and he come out of the game, and the backup goalie went in until they could make him a new mask the next day.
Jeez.
But yeah, they took his mask off. He's like, I'm not going back in without a mask. And so the backup come into play. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Bob Montgomery for the Red Sox was the last player not to wear a helmet to bat, because he used to just wear a baseball cap because he was grandfathered in. I'm almost positive he was the last guy. The backup catcher.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right.
Sorry, just back to street hockey for a second.
Yep.
Back about 20 years ago, my friends and I, we rented a gym and we went to play some ball hockey.
Yeah.
And jeez, we were so excited, right? We hadn't played ball hockey in years, and we're all in our late 30s at the time. And we were like racing around the gym for the first 5 minutes, and we actually had to all stop and get down on our hands and go. It was hilarious. Bodies had aged.
Yeah, I played 2 games this morning.
How'd you do?
We tied and we lost. I think I just played for a couple different teams. I'm trying to skate as much as I can. I'll be 54 next month, and it's like if I can, I love these kids that are playing in the league that like weren't even born. When I started playing, just like it's like the 19-year-old kid skating around me, and like,
are
yeah,
you still doing? Because you draft the teams, right? Yeah, I remember you explained it to try to get as even as possible with all the teams.
Yeah, we mix it up now. I remember when I was a top pick in that league, and now I'm a last round pick. But that's okay. I'm still playing. I scored a goal today. I'm happy. I scored 2 goals today. I'm happy with that. But I like the young kids that come in and they're like, yeah, I just walked around you and scored a goal. I said, dude, you could be my grandkid. You walked around an old man.
You should be proud of yourself.
I know. Yes, of course we watched the Mighty Ducks. The Mighty Ducks was fun. They were fun.
Best hockey movie. Come on. Slapshot. Paul Newman.
Oh, yeah.
Hanson Brothers.
Oh, of course it was. Yeah.
They brought their freaking toys. That's not the word they used, but in the edited version.
They brought their toys. Yep. And we were talking about Unbelievable Tabletop Sports early. He's been doing a lot. Is Grid Zone? Is that the game? Grid Zone, the football game?
Yes.
Yeah. I think he's been playing a lot of that too. I've been watching him. I've been trying to learn that. But it is funky when the score is 3-1 in a football game.
Yeah, because it's not.
You know what somebody needs to do.
Adapt it to a touchdown.
Exactly. They need to
thinking the same
adapt the point somehow to say, okay, if it's 3-1, it's really 6-0. And once you get so many points, then you get a field goal or you get a touchdown.
Well, if you move the allotted 10 spots, you get 14 points. And you don't use the other points. You just get the 4. It's a fun game. It's just it's different.
Yeah,
I mean, scoring system. Everything else makes sense. I'm just saying it. I was telling you guys offline. That's what throws me off from streaming it, because I'm constantly like thinking touchdown, but it's not a touchdown.
It's 7-4.
It's fun though. It is a fun
really
game.
7-4. Yeah. Oh, and TD's a 14 point.
Yeah.
Ooh.
If you score a touchdown, you go the allotted 10 spots. You don't count the other points. You just count you've gotten the end zone. It's 14 points. And yes, fictional sport for sure. It's fun.
I guess that's a good way of looking at it. Yeah, don't play it like a regular football game.
And that's what I have to remember. The fourth game I played, offline, it sunk in. Just enjoy the game.
Yeah.
But it's so hard to try to play a football game.
Well, especially when I have Steve Grogan at quarterback and Stanley Morgan at wide receiver.
Because you're thinking field goals and touchdowns. You're not thinking.
But it flows well. It's again, I like the soccer game. Also flows well from Stone Mountain. Oh God, what's it?
Stone Mountain Press.
Stone Mountain Press. Thank you. Soccer game, excellent. Grid Zone, fun. People do it much better online than I do. That's why I don't do it. He's played 280 games in Grid Zone, so he's got the hang of it. I got to check out some of his videos.
I was watching some of them. I really was.
I watched Anthony play it. I watched the creator play it with the fictional team. And you can actually, this is cool again, if you're a fictional person, which I'm not, you actually can make up players because he has a rating system.
Yeah.
And you can, right? And you can just continue your team for years. And Peter can probably talk more about that. It's pretty interesting. Again,
Yeah,
I'm not a professional player.
Yeah, I haven't looked at it very much, but yeah, it's all laid out.
Oh,
It's like, how you rate the players and how they progress from season to season, bringing in rookies, doing a draft and all that stuff, and it's really cool.
Again, probably Unbelievable Tabletop Sports can talk about that too in the chat. But it's a well done, thought out game. I like the way he put it. You see, sometimes I just need someone to put something in dumbed down terms for me because I'm an idiot. Fictional sport. I like it. Now I think of it like rollerball. I like it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
It's not that I didn't like it. I told you guys I liked it. It's just, what did I say? I keep thinking I need to score a touchdown.
I remember when that game first came out, like the free version, 5, 6, 7 years ago, whatever it was. I remember somebody on the Delphi forum got really upset. This forum should only be about real sports. We should only talk about real sports. And it's like, what?
We're playing a game.
Yeah, it's just a game. Like, what's the problem?
You do have those folks in the.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, so
they're downers.
Yeah, we won't open that can of worms, but I just wanted to mention that. I was just thought it was.
No. That's a great point I totally agree. But I like that now. You see, he said fictional game, and I like that.
Yeah.
Because now it's a beautiful way of putting that game. Because soccer is soccer. I know it's a game, but I mean, it plays. You get a goal. The guy made the save. This and that. But this, I like the way.
Now, for me, I would if this is a fictional game, I couldn't play the 1980 Patriots. My brain couldn't process that. It would have to be fictional guys to play the fictional game.
He has that. They have.
I know, but what I'm saying is, I know they created the 1980 season, whatever. But I would have a hard time wrapping my head around playing actual football teams and players, but having it be a fictional. I don't know if my brain would process that.
The one thing I'm going to do with the 80s, and again, I played 3 real games because 2 of them, you're trying to get the hang of it. I mean, they're all offline. But when someone gets hurt, you have a generic sub. I might just write down on the other side of the card a couple, or just for ha-has on the score sheet. I can throw someone in there so there's a name. The concept, the genius of the game is it makes sense. Someone gets hurt or they're out. If they get hurt, it's -1 on their rating. If they're out, like knocked out of the game, whether you're hurt twice in the game or you're literally knocked out of the game, you have a generic 0 rating. I think it is the game's good, and I like now that's a fictional. I like the word how he put it, fictional sport.
Well, for example, I can't play this game.
Mutant Hockey.
Okay, it's on the Sega Genesis. It's Mutant League Hockey. Okay, it's basically NHL '94
with monsters, and you can die in the game, and then you're shorthanded. No. What about that game you played on Steam?
That was Super Blood Hockey.
You saved me some money. After you played that, I don't want that game.
No, I don't want that either. But what I'm getting at with that, the Mutant League Hockey, I tried to play hockey. You don't. It's a completely different game.
Yeah.
You do things a different way. You got to play a different way. It's almost like what's that crazy football game?
Blood Bowl.
Blood Bowl.
I don't play that.
Yeah, I couldn't play that either because I would try to play football, and you don't play football. It's a completely different game.
Yeah, again, it's not for us.
So okay, yeah, Blood Bowl. Yeah, not for me.
You know what game I liked? One of my favorite hockey games. Like little Nintendo had a hockey game. I don't even remember what the hell it was called, but you had fat guys, skinny guys, and medium guys, and you could make what you wanted. I usually made my defensemen the 2 fat, bigger guys, chunky monkeys. And then the wingers.
Do you know what it's called? Do you know what it was called?
Nintendo Hockey. I don't know what that.
It was called ice hockey.
That's all it was called. I'm saying. We played the living snot out of that game. And sometimes if you just wanted to beat the hell out of your opponent, not that they fought, but you could knock them down. You get the big guys and you just try to run into the
Oh, the skinny guys with the mustache, you couldn't catch them, but if you touched them, they went down like that.
Yeah, it was great.
It was ingenious, and you could set up your team too.
Yeah,
you
didn't have to have all the same guys.
Yeah, you could have more skinny guys or more fat guys. The fat guys couldn't move, but you couldn't knock them down, and the medium guys were kind of in the middle. Yeah,
my favorite team was 4 fat guys, 1 skinny guy. Feed the skinny guy the puck and watch him go. That was a fun game. I like that. And then you were playing. You were playing because you have that system, the old Sega.
Oh, the Retron. Yeah, that plays all those old Sega games behind me. I can play them. Yep.
The NHL hockey games.
Yep, those are really fun. So going back to the fictional guys, or creating your own or whatever. Now, Al, I know you've kind of created or rated some teams. Peter, have you ever done that? Have you ever taken instructions of a game and then either created teams or created seasons or players or anything?
I did that. I did that with Tarkin in football. Yes, I made. It's fun. It's fun to do.
I got the instructions for play. I bought the instructions how to do it with the Play Hockey Blast, and I just haven't done it yet. But I have the instructions if I want to do it.
Yeah, I've got the instructions too, but I've never tried it. So great intentions to do that, but I thought,
yeah.
You know, it's funny, Peter and Dave, when you just went Pro Strategy Football 2021, new version coming out in August 2022. You can make, now they've made a ton of seasons. I think they're pretty much going to have them all pretty soon, and they're all free. But I made some college teams, and they're fun to make, but it comes to a point where I want to play.
Yeah.
And again, the ratings, to me, I like ratings, I'm talking me personally. 0 through 9, 1 through 9, 1 through 10, 0 through 10. High number, the best, low number, the worst. And there's all kinds of different rating systems. So it's fun to go through and try to get your ratings. And then what I do is you play test it yourself because you can make the teams, right? And I sim the games and I watch them. Well, this is realistic to me, right? And then I go to stream it and you get the unrealistic result. Like I made Alabama from Alabama. They just won the national title against the old 1977 Texas Longhorns with Earl Campbell. Well, Alabama should beat them. You run the sim 1,000 times, Alabama beats them. Literally, I want to say it was like 87%, 91, whatever. It was a lot. So I go to stream the game. I'm not playing as either team, right? I'm just calling it. And Texas plays a phenomenal game and beats them quite handily. And people are like, you nerfed those ratings. No, I didn't. I'm not. I actually, then I showed them. I ran the sim again, meaning just the 1,000 who would win. And I was like, no, it's just the way they had the luck of the engine. Everything went right for them. But it's fun to make teams, but it's time consuming. That's why people who make full leagues of teams. Turbocharge is a big action PC guy. There are people in that community who make entire college football seasons. That's incredible to me. For free, you go on there because Dave Cook, because now I know how to pronounce the last name thanks to you guys. I used to keep saying Koch. Dave Cook, he doesn't offer those seasons. So the community, they make them like early, the whole season, every team that's considered major college.
That's that's caused a ton of college teams. Yeah,
that is. I try to fool around making fake like a Bugs Bunny team. I got like Bugs Bunny, Tasmania, like for my own ha-ha.
Yeah.
And I was like, I did 3 players. Like, I'm done.
It's tough. Yeah. Turbo, you had Apple basketball as a kid. You're trying to find it at some point. Well, the old joke is I had Apple basketball as a kid, and I'm almost finished the game. From what I hear, it's a long game to play. I guess they discontinued it too, so it's hard to find.
Todd B, I think he's talking about Status Pro. There's a site. If you just go Status Pro PC basketball, it's free. Some guy created that. I don't know if that's what and it plays very well. I was actually playing Larry Bird's rookie season. I played quite a few games. Again, I'm playing Pistol Pete Maravich too. More than he actually played. I'm starting it. I want to say he didn't start playing till after the beginning of the season, but you can only play them so much and then they're done. So, but yeah, Turbocharge, they do a great job with They have some fabulous baseball seasons, like hybrids. Like they took a certain 20-year, 15-year time period, and they put the best players in that time period on each team. They're fun. A lot of good fun stuff.
Did you create the LOB cheat sheet, Al?
What's the LOB cheat? No. I created this cheat sheet for me for replay baseball. No. I'm not that. Some people sometimes for some reason think I'm Al Wilson, which I'm not.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I don't know if that's who he's talking about. I'm not.
Oh, maybe.
I'm Al Red Sox fan.
Yeah, Al Red Sox fan. Yeah. Okay. So, a couple more things here. Then we can wrap up here for tonight. We've had a fun little chat. Thanks to everybody that's come in. As always, we talk about all kinds of different things
Legends
on
of
here.
Boxing. Okay. No, that wasn't me. I'm sorry. Nope.
Okay.
Good game. That's supposed to come out on PC, where Ron got the horse racing game, and why can't ASG? I think, and it's supposed to be Hannah who's doing it, I believe.
Oh, nice.
And I will get, if he's doing it, I will get that game because I like all different boxing games. But of course, my favorite's Glory Days boxing. Yeah. But I do that's my sport, boxing. I love playing different boxing games. And now I'm into wrestling a lot lately. Why? I don't know. Why I'm reverting back to a 12-year-old, I don't know.
Have you guys ever bought or played a game that you thought you wouldn't like at all, but you were surprised and found out, wow, this is a real fun game? It's something I never thought I would play, but I really like it.
Pine Tar Baseball. When I finally was convinced. Only because I watched a lot of videos, right? And it intrigued me. And probably that's not the right. I shouldn't say, if I buy a game, I expect to like it, even if I don't like it. So that's not really, but I was really, obviously I play it a lot and I really do enjoy it. It plays differently to me than any other baseball game that I have played. I'm not saying there's other games that don't do similar things. I'm just saying Pine Tar plays differently, and it's a different way of thinking to use. They have a rating that changes possibly third time through the lineup. You can go from an A to a C. You can go, most guys, it gets worse, but then you have guys like Sandy Koufax. Good luck against him if he hits the rating thing. I love Sandy. And then you have the home and away. That's my favorite thing, the home and away split. But I didn't think I'd enjoy it as much as I do.
Okay.
That's the way I'll put it.
Okay. Peter?
I'd have to say red, white, and blue racing because I know nothing about NASCAR, but then I watched Steve Towers' video for it, and I thought, this looks like it could be a fun game. And I was hemming and hawing, and this is kind of a funny, weird thing, but we were watching some animated movie about some snails. It was kind of like a NASCAR thing about snails, and it was a kids movie. I forget what it was called. And that convinced me to buy the game, believe it or not. So that game I enjoyed a lot more than I thought I would. Like I said, I don't watch NASCAR. I had no inkling to watch, cars racing around a track, but I love racing games, I guess.
And it's really very aesthetically pleasing.
What's that?
Look at it. I've watched videos of people play. It's very aesthetically please the colors. Again, that's a good one. Yeah.
I would. That was going to be mine too.
Yours
I like watching summertime racing at night, like when NASCAR races at night in Florida. There's something relaxing about a Saturday night, 8:00 when it's dark out, watching cars go around the track with all the lights. I just like that a little bit better than the daytime racing. But again, the same way, I don't know anything about it, and you don't have to know anything about it when you play red, white, and blue racing. You just race and you follow, like Ron talked about, the storyline. You see. Yeah. You flip to see which cars are going to start at which spot, and then you fill them in. And some people have a good week and some people have a bad week, and that shows up on the final, ratings where you start, and then you race, and then you see, you know, who gets to jump over somebody else, and who falls to the back of the pack, and you can watch guys move up and watch guys move down, and you don't have to worry about pitting or you don't have to know anything about it. You just follow along.
Yeah, and anything can happen in that game, I find. Like, people can go to the back of the pack and go right back up to the front in the same race, and you never know what's going to happen in that game, which is so cool.
The other one I just thought of real quick, the horse racing games. I was really pleasantly surprised. And again, they're both off of that ASG. One's a true dice roller. They're both dice rollers, but one has the one that Uncle Ron bought second, which I also bought second after watching him do a video, has a little better, it has some animation. They both have some animation to it, but they're both very fun. And mm-hmm. I thought I would enjoy them, but not as much. And I do it a lot offline because, Dave knows I like to do those. For one of them, the Baton Death March races of 3 miles, because that's what I enjoy. The horse racing games are pleasant surprises. Yeah. Because I like the name, the story of what if Secretariat raced against, now I can't, the Man of War. What if, the whole Seabiscuit, what if Seabiscuit ran against it? Just, thank you. It was fun. I enjoyed it. So those two, and again, Pine Tar, I didn't explain it right. I just didn't think I'd have as much fun as I do, and I really love the game. But the horse racing, because I'm not very knowledgeable about horse racing. My dad, God rest his soul, he liked the horse racing, the dog racing, and stuff like that. So when I was a kid, we watched, and then as he got older, in the final years of his life, I had TV. You can legally bet with TVG, and we bet some races now and then when we'd watch him and he enjoyed that. But the story, and I think that's the fun part. The story that we, or you, the player, I shouldn't say we, and everybody else who plays these games create, whether you stream them or not. Because I know I do it. I know Uncle Dave does it. Teresa came in and goes, "Are you on the phone?" I'm like, "No, I'm just playing my game, and I'm doing play-by-play out loud." And she's like, "Oh, I thought you were talking to someone." Well, I am, to this imaginary crowd that doesn't exist.
I do that. Peter, do you do that when you're playing your games? I do,
but I do it very quietly. I don't know why.
I'm not a quiet human being. I'm sorry.
Little whispering. It's like, I don't know.
But it's the story.
Yeah.
Here's one, and then I'll shut the hell up. You ever play a game? Dave's like, he's not going to shut the hell up. He never shut the hell up. You ever play a game and you go, God, I wish I streamed that. And, thank you. And he goes, please continue. Yes, it does. You ever play a game you wish, God, I wish I streamed that just because it was fabulous. And I could listen to it again. I do my fights and I'll listen to them 3-4 times over because I enjoy the boxing. So unbelievable.
To take that the next step, have you ever done a game that was so good that you thought about going back?
Yes.
And streaming it?
Yes.
Yet, you know what I mean? Kind of recreating it in your mind how it happened, even though you've already played it because it was so good?
I did a boxing match, card and dice, Glory Days boxing, between if you're not a boxing fan, you're not Nino Benvenuti, and he fought in the 60s up until the very 1970, and he lost to Monzon middleweight against Jake LaMotta. And it was just this wonderful ebb and flow, and I was like, this is fabulous. And Teresa's like, oh, did you stream it? I'm like, no, because she could hear me talking to myself doing the fight. And I was like, I wonder if I could just put a radio, like for my OBS, just put like a radio, a picture of an old school, the old fashioned radio, and go, and now from Madison Square Garden, Tuesday night and just call it. I'm like, I should just do that. I mean, just for me, and I did do that actually. One of my first videos I didn't know how to streams on a computer. I used my PlayStation 4 to do a boxing match with a game sound in the background because I didn't know how the hell to shut it off. And I just called this, imagine, a fight I streamed on my not streamed, but played on my tablet, Rocky Graziano and Jake LaMotta. I go, oh my God, this is absolutely fabulous. I've got to do something. And it's actually on if you find it, it's like on my channel way back when. It's not horrible, but it's kind of funny that I used my PlayStation 4 with literally the music of another game behind, because I was like, I need something to make a noise besides me. And there's this game back there. But yeah, so I did it once. What was yours? Do you remember? Did you want to do one like that, Dave or Peter? Where you did such a fun game? You're like, I just want to share it.
Have you ever done that, Peter?
Yeah, probably. Yeah. I don't remember any offhand, any ones in particular, but yeah, I'm sure it's happened.
I've done a lot of what Tabletop was saying, is that I played the homebrew Russia Canada series 72
awesome.
on Shootout.
Yeah.
And it was so good. And I didn't stream any of it.
But you gave us updates though.
But I did me and Ron did a half-hour show, something like this, where I talked about the games and how it happened and the scoring leaders and just the emotion. It was so emotional, that series that I played. It was, and it just, it's like, they flew over to Russia and they got destroyed in game one. I was like, oh, they had jet lag. And it was perfect that game one in Russia, they got destroyed. And then they come back and they won. And then something else happened. And then Phil Esposito got a 5-minute penalty in the game, and they killed off the penalty, and immediately Esposito scores in Russia. And it's like, I could picture him looking at the referee after he scored the goal, like, yeah, you put me in the box for 5 minutes. Yeah. I could just picture him. So I did a recap video of that, because that's what I did,
Yeah, that was, and hockey. I think I enjoyed Hockey Unreal's play of that so much, because you had done yours and you did the summary of it, and that is just a fascinating. Plus, you gave some history on other, just talking about it on streams. That is such a fascinating time for hockey. When you think that the Soviets,
that was a big deal.
Yeah. And that the Soviets, which really were a professional team, but they're like, oh, well, these are the best of Canada. And that was like tooth and nail.
Yeah.
Have you played that, Peter? Have you played the Summit?
No, that's funny. I've never played that series in any, hockey game that has that available. But, you talking about this, and I think Hockey Unreal did one recently too. And
I enjoyed it. It was fabulous. And what's funny? People talk about, like, when you're playing a game, you invest, like you get emotional. I didn't want the Soviets to win. To me, this is like the Olympics. I don't root for the Soviets.
Yeah.
I
have those cards.
It's hard for Canada.
They're all home brews. I have them on Shootout.
Yep.
I have them for Strat. I haven't played it yet.
PC's a homebrew too, I think.
Yep. Action PC's got it, and also Hockey Blast.
Mm-hmm.
So I have that for many different games, and that's been kind of fun. Yeah, and Texas League brought up one day my replay PC baseball. I did the Bucky Dent game, was one of the first things I did with that.
Yep.
And Bucky Dent homered in that replay game. That's 78. It wasn't the game winner, but he homered in that game. I think the Red Sox actually went on to crush the Yankees in that.
They did.
Bucky Dent homered in my replay. That was kind of funny. All right, so I got one last question for you guys, and then we'll wrap it up here. We've been going a while, but we got the chat has been steady, so we've been going pretty well. How do you guys handle your pile of shame? Meaning your pile of games, all the seasons you got, and what do? We go buy more seasons and more games. How do you, like, I have all my Strat cards. When I walk down my stairs, they're all in boxes and bins, and they're all laid out nice. And every once in a while, I look at them and I was like, damn it. I just stop what I'm doing, and I pull out 2 teams and I play a game. And okay, I've justified the purchase. How do you guys handle all the games and all the seasons, and then you buy more? Talk about that. Peter, go first.
It just happens. That's all I can say.
It's like the blob. It just keeps growing.
Yes.
I mean, but do you ever look at them and say, I got to play this, or damn it, I'm going to play this, or I'm pulling out these 2 teams, or
yeah.
I bought this game and I haven't cut the cards out yet, and
I think also part of it.
Like
I think part of it is also just imagining what kind of projects you're going to do with it. So I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to play this project and it's going to be really
so good. It's going to be so good.
Your imagination starts going. And it's like, and also sometimes the planning of a project, right? Like, okay, you make your schedule and you do all that. Sometimes that's half the fun, getting it ready.
And then you see a new season come out. You're like, oh, I have all these new projects.
Yeah.
I have been pretty good with not purchasing card and dice for a little bit. Because I'm purchasing PC game stuff right now.
Yeah. The room goes silent.
Yeah.
Okay,
you can go now.
What came in the mail today? Oh, Oh, yeah! I gotta put him in storage and tell him ready. Yeah. It does. I feel it's like I come downstairs. Okay, what am I? Okay, I have all these folders over here, my print and play games, and I got all these white boxes behind me. They're all like shootout hockey, regular season basketball, Roberto Schiavini games, all my Downey games. I actually started to write down all the projects I started. I put a little pad here, and I actually got one crossed out. The Celtics replay basketball. I finished that, so I crossed out a project that I still have 9 that I'm ongoing.
Yeah.
I liked you had a wrestling game that I liked listening to you do.
Chris's wrestling dice game.
I have that. Excellent.
It's on sportsreplays.net.
I just played that because I finally got the helper to work again. What I like to do, and again, free game, you get a ton of wrestlers, lots of fun, easy. It's like Appa, if Appa had a wrestling game, because that's what it reminds me of. There's charts, you roll.
Oh, yeah.
It's very Appa-ish. And that's a fun game. And you can have any type of crazy matchup with their wrestlers.
That's my favorite cards and dice wrestling game.
Yeah. Yeah, that again, I'm reverting to wrestling. I don't know why, but it's enjoyable to think about the old school of wrestling.
And D. Smith, he's trying some new games out. He's on a hockey binge now. I'm on a hockey binge as well. Cool. I really am. And how many boxing games do you have? Yeah, I'm the same way with hockey games.
How many boxing games does he have? I'm curious.
Peter was talking about you have 30 hockey games, Peter, right?
Yeah.
30.
Now, is that just cards and dice? Does that include computer games and stuff?
That's just cards and dice, I think.
Jeez, you must have found more than because I think I have 25. So there's got to be some that you have that I haven't seen yet. So you got to make videos on them so I can see those.
Okay.
What's the most obscure game you have that you think none of us will have heard of? Well, I know I probably won't, but maybe Dave Gardner might not have heard of.
I don't think I've got anything nobody's heard of. So I usually find out from somebody else about them.
12 boxing games. Wow. I'm going to have to find out what he has.
I got the obviously the shootout drive-through cards. They're amazing. The Hockey Bones. I think if I ever get into Hockey Bones, that would be something I would do.
Yeah, they are amazing, those cards. Glossy cardstock. You're beautiful.
Nice. And Texas Leaguer says, I almost bought another game today and won too many. Play ball, baseball. Just too expensive. I never heard of play ball, baseball.
There's so many baseball games. You go to the Facebook group page, the
Wait, would you say there's 100 baseball cards and dice games? Would you say there's 100?
There must be, yeah.
There's a lot new, and there's new ones coming out. I'm like, I've never, and again, play what you want. But it does come to a point for me, like we were just talking, I want to start playing some of these strat seasons I have. And I don't play full season I like pitching matchups. I do a lot with Sandy Koufax and stuff, like Sandy Koufax against Guidry, even though they're not, it's the team against the other, the pitcher against the offense. But there was one, I can't remember it, but I was just going on Facebook because again, I like to read the people's projects or just postings. I'm like, oh, that's cool. That's interesting. There was someone had a fictional baseball game.
It's called On Deck, I think it is. And we're scheduled to talk to him this week on the show.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. And it's fictional, I believe.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. It just, the setup, again, I'm not a fictional person, but I looked at the card, really nice setup it looked like. So.
Yeah. He sent us over a couple of cards to look at, and he's going to run us through some gameplay and then talk about it. And if all goes well with Uncle Ron, I don't know if Uncle Ron's listening or if he's sleeping right now, but he got a shot today. He said his bum hurts from the shot. I'm kidding.
Got a bum shot?
No. I kept kidding.
Folks.
I kept kidding they were gonna give him the vaccine in his bum. He's like, no, they're not.
They give it to you right here.
I had him convinced that they were, though.
Oh, you had Ron, if you're watching, call me and Nurse Teresa. She gives the shots, for God's sakes.
I forgot you got
She's literally giving the shots at the thing in Western Mass.
Oh, all right. Well, let's wrap things up here. I want to thank everybody that tuned in to watch here. We know that Patch is going to watch all 2 hours and 9 minutes tonight, and we
Yes, he
mentioned
will.
him several times because that's what he does.
Check out his sister station. I think it's his cousin, Hockey Unreal.
Yeah, Hockey Unreal's got a lot of good hockey products going on. I love how he uses the Uno cards.
I stole that for the.
I'm gonna do that. Yeah, that is
When
great.
I did the soccer game from Stone Mountain Press, I'm like, that is so cool. I have Uno cards. I'm doing it. I did say I took that from him, and I also used the Dave Gardner disclaimer that I might not be playing this game exactly right. And you know what? If I'm not and you're upset about it, go. No,
I do that. I sometimes forget to, but I try to do that because sometimes people give you so much crap about you make a mistake or you're playing it wrong or this is not how it's done. And that's why I just say, look, I might play it wrong. I might make mistakes, but the bottom line is you're going to have a pretty good idea on how the game plays. And if that's what you're looking for, but if you're looking for a tutorial or whatever, it's not my game, so I'm not, I'm not the expert. I even still mess up with shootouts once in a while. And I've been playing that game. That's my most played game, but I still do. But
how about this one? And I really will shut up. You're ever streaming? It more for a live stream than uploading because you can fix it, or if you want, right? You make a mistake and you're like, well, F it. I got to go with it now. I've gotten better. Like I've made some fabulous home run calls, Dave and Pete, and then realized.
Yeah, you know what? I don't know if I saw it in the instructions somewhere or if it was one of the game developers mentioned this, but he says, don't beat yourself up if you don't understand something or if you make a mistake, because just say that something happened in the game.
I like that.
The umpire missed a call, the referee missed a call, player made a great play, and you don't beat yourself up over it, because I know some people and they're pulling through the rule. Oh man, I got to get this exactly. And I've done it even on the live streams, like, something, I'm not sure of this, so here's what I'm going to do so we can move on. So I'm not going to stop the broadcast and look something up, and you go with it. And if I missed it, sometimes I don't know if I rolled for this team yet. Did I roll for this team? Even in baseball, that game, I don't know if I rolled the top of the inning or not. I don't know. And so we had a problem at the stadium, so we're gonna restart the inning. You just make something up and just go with it, and then somebody's gonna be upset with you, but whatever. But anyway, so Al, where can we find you on YouTube?
Al Red Sox fan.
That's your YouTube channel, Al Red Sox fan.
My YouTube channel. Every once in a while, we do some chat with Al's, which are fun. And then I get lucky enough to get invited on either Uncle Dave's or Uncle Ron's channel once in a while on Digital Dice. So thank you for that. But yeah, if you want, I do sports sims. We do some goofy chats once in a while. And a lot of different games. You show
off a lot of new games too. You show off a lot of new games on your channel.
Yeah. Well, and again, I wouldn't go to my channel for tutorials because I'm not really good at that. But I do try to explain the game the best I can. Again, play the games you like. I can't tell you. I don't want to tell anyone what to buy or what not to buy. But there's a lot of great YouTube content out there in our community with these two fine gentlemen and more. So just check out everybody. But if you want, Al Red Sox fan, and my stream, I'm a long streamer, meaning I talk to the chat and I just enjoy it. So, but thank you.
And Peter, where can we find you on YouTube?
I don't have a name for my channel, so I don't have any kind of handle or moniker that people could look up. So,
if you search Peter Miller on YouTube, you should get to some of your content, correct?
I should hope so. Yeah.
Yep. And you do a lot of pre-recorded stuff, and you look at a lot of different games, right?
Yeah. I try to focus on stuff that other people haven't done. So,
and that's a great help to the community, Peter, because like you said, you see other people playing a game, they look into it, and you're helping out. Because someone might be, what's that game?
Yeah.
So that's always very helpful.
Yeah, but again, don't be afraid. And this is what someone I think it was Uncle Ron told me, maybe it was Al. Don't be afraid to do a video of a game that already has 100 videos, because you might do something just different enough, or you might approach it in a certain way that it's going to, somebody will react to that better than all the other videos out there. Because you can never have too many videos when you're learning a game. And maybe it's the angle of the camera, maybe it's how you describe it, maybe it's just whatever it is that you do, it's going to be different than everybody else. So don't shy away from, well, there's too many people doing strat videos or hockey blast videos or whatever game map or video, whatever it is. Do it, because I didn't want to do it either. And someone said, you know, Dave, you play it a different way, and maybe this would give somebody ideas on how to play it that gets stuck like you do. If I get stuck in a game, so this is how I handle it. And so many times I've done things and people are like, boy, that's a pretty good idea. I'm going to steal that. And I've done that with other people. Oh, you do this. I like this too. I'm going to use this idea to make my game more fun. So
nice compliment here by Unbelievable Tabletop Sports. He said, now I lost it. Oh, Hockey Unreal linked me to Peter's channel. Great stuff.
Oh, good.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, he's great. I like watching his videos too.
He's fun. He's somewhat new, and there was one time he went on there and says, Hey guys, here, welcome to take 9 of this video. he was all upset because something happened. I don't know if the cat got in the camera or he screwed. I think he made mistakes and he just started over. But you do when you're on your 9th take. It's you don't come in all happy anymore. You're all upset because you've screwed up and you've wasted an hour of the day. And so
thanks. This has been fun, guys.
Yeah, well, Peter, thanks for coming on. Hang on, don't go away just yet. We'll sign off, but we'll say goodbye to everybody off the air. But everybody, again, thanks for watching tonight. Kind of an impromptu Saturday night chat with Al and Peter Miller, 2 guys that are doing some great work on YouTube. And thanks everybody for tuning in. We haven't done a chat in 2 or 3 weeks now, and they're fun to do. And so again, and you guys, thanks for coming on tonight. Really,
thank you.
Yeah, all right. Thanks, Dave.
And we'll talk to everybody later. Bye-bye.
Bye.